Hello, welcome back to Professor Layton and the Lost Future. This is part, I want to say 7, but I may be completely wrong with that. It has been quite a long time since we played this game, so I am going to need to do a recap for myself, if not for everybody else. Yeah, so if this is your first time watching me, hello. My name is Lara. I don't know why you're starting on this part, but welcome. We've been playing through Professor Layton. We played through the first 2 games, and now we're on the 3rd game. And yes, so there's a couple of rules and things to talk about before we get into it, but I will be as quick as I can. So everyone who's in my community already knows this, but rule number 1 is we don't backseat. We don't backseat the puzzles. We can collaborate and work the puzzles out together, but if you know the answer or you figure it out immediately, please do not just put it in chat. That's really annoying, and it's not going to help anybody. You can buy a hint coin, or you can use your channel points to tell me that you know the answer, so that I can ask if I do get really stuck. Also, yes, like I said, there are hint coins that you can buy, not the ones in the game, but you can use your channel points to buy me hint coins so that I can look things up. That's basically what they're there for, and I have a pencil sitting around here somewhere so I can mark things down. I believe we're actually in a hint coin deficit at the moment. I believe we are, I want to say 3 hint coins down, so I've used hint coins I don't have, basically, so I'm going to say that. Anyway, let's just jump into the game, have a quick plot recap. Oh, that's the wrong button. Oh my god, sorry, I am so out of practice. That's what I meant to do. So, yes, the rough plot. In fact, let's get them to tell you. Right, so the rough plot before this even makes any sense. Wow, it's really bright in my room. Let me just... I'm all over the place today. I am sorry about that. I'm a little bit sporadic. I feel quite... Woohoo! My brain is not functioning properly, but hopefully I'll be able to do some puzzles. And hopefully it's not going to be worse than the last stream, which was terrible in terms of solving puzzles, I mean. So the main plot, the plot of this game is we're in the future, and there is an evil Layton, who is the Layton of the future, who is trying to make a time machine. No, trying to use a time... There is a time machine. Okay, it's confusing. There is a time machine, or so we have been led to believe. There is a time machine that has taken us to future London, and the Layton of the future is trying to use this time machine for nefarious purposes. And he's kidnapped a bunch of scientists to help him make the time machine work properly. Also, future Luke is here. Yeah, and so is a parrot who I've named Past Luke, just to confuse everybody. I think I'm doing a worse job of explaining this than the game will, so let's just read what the game says. Layton and the others visit a riverside restaurant by the name of the Thames Arms. There, the bartender informs them that future Layton came by, but they just missed him. Intent on ending future Layton's plan to create a time machine, the group head back to Chinatown. Hi, Mox! So yes, we were just at the beginning of a new chapter, which is why we stopped when we did. Also because I was doing so badly with the puzzles. I feel like this game has way more plot than the last 2 games. There's like way more going on between the puzzles. Obviously I think we've skipped a few puzzles. It's probably going to tell me in a second, oh, here are the puzzles that you didn't do. But we always come back. We always come back and we always do the puzzles that we've missed, either at the end of the stream or at the end of the game. But let's go through. Oh, we didn't get one. So yeah, if we look here, we've got Layton and Luke and Flora and Luke and Luke. This is future Luke, when he's older, when he's 21. And this is the parrot who we called Past Luke, just to be confusing. So we're heading to Chinatown. I don't remember where we're going with anything. I am very lost. Do I have a map? Or is it just... Oh no, that's not on my stream. Wow, I am so out of practice. Okay, so this is my map. This bottom screen. Well, look, the game is telling me I need to go this way, so let's go this way. Oh, this guy, the Scottish guy. Oh, I should also say, everybody in this town in the future in London, this is London in the future, is terrified of Layton because they're terrified of Future Layton, and he obviously has the same hat. And presumably looks the same, but nobody ever says that. They only ever talk about the hat, so... oh, I should say, before it finishes, if you're watching this live, there is a prediction currently going on about how many puzzles I'm gonna get wrong. Please bear in mind that the last time we played, I got 2 out of 3 incorrect. And I have no idea if I'm gonna do any better today. I've had a coffee, and I also have half a can of Monster, so hopefully one of the two will give me enough caffeine to get through these puzzles, but I am struggling, so we may not even play this for very long. I think maybe we'll do one puzzle and we'll see how we feel, and if I fail miserably, we may just close the game without saving and try again another day. I don't want to do that, but I also, you know, I've got in my head that I have to be perfect when I do a Layton stream, so. Back again, I see. Yes, we heard that Mr. Layton had returned. I'm very out of practice doing the voices, sorry. That is not correct. Then I assume you'll be letting us through. Oh, he said that was correct. Oh, I misread that. I have no objections. Well, it's not entirely true. There is one minor issue left. When the boss got back, he ordered me not to let anyone through unless they solved this puzzle. Wonderful. Good start. Let's go. The Impossible Gate. No one has ever triumphed over the Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? The first puzzle back in like 3 months is a slide puzzle. Are you actually kidding me? Insert the burr, 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 burr sound effect here. That is... For those who are newer, there is one thing that we don't like. Well, one thing in video games that we do not like on this channel. And that, my dear friends, is slide puzzles. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, I know why I hate them, because I just cannot work them out. But thank you for clipping that. I appreciate it. Oh no, slide puzzles. Wait for the game to crash. Look at those little angry Laras driving their cars. I feel like I need an angry one that just isn't driving. So I mean, I have a grumpy one, but that's the tier 2 mode. Anyway. No one has ever triumphed over the impossible gate. Give it a try if you dare. Make it to the top and I'll let you pass. Slide Professor Layton and Luke into the top square to solve this puzzle. Alright, everybody. If anyone had slide puzzle comes up on their bingo card, I really need to make bingo cards. I was genuinely going to make one for today, and then I was like, if I do it, I didn't have enough time before stream, and I didn't want to put off streaming Layton just because I hadn't made the bingo card. Anyway. I'm going to start a stopwatch and see how long this actually takes me. Because if I get this in, like, quicker than 10 minutes, I'm going to be so impressed. Let's start. Okay, I've started a stopwatch. Let's, wait. Oh, okay, I can actually move a piece. I was gonna say, there's, like, no way of moving any of these pieces. Because these guys won't move. But no, I was incorrect. I can move the pieces. Wait, no. Hold on. There we go. No, I still can't move it. Oh, no! So I am fully aware that slide puzzles are not supposed to be impossible, right? They are just impossible to me because my brain just cannot work them out. Okay, I feel like I was onto something there, but it didn't quite work. So maybe I have to, like, move some pieces out of the way first. If I could get that up there, that might be useful, but I can't really get that out of the way. If you haven't already, by the way, and you're interested, the entire playthrough of Curious Village, and I'm ignoring the amount of moves I'm doing, by the way. The entire playthrough of Curious Village and Pandora's Box, aka Diabolical Box, is available on the PurpleCoffins Stream Archive YouTube channel that you can get to if you type !VODs I know, pluggity plug, but... Okay, okay, okay. I feel like we're getting good. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nope, can't move that there. That's... I've scuppered that. Hmm. I feel like some of these pieces are the wrong way around. Like, they need to be... This one should be the yellow one. Like, it's facing the wrong way, basically. It's also really hard to talk through slide puzzles, because I feel like I'm just going like, this piece, the blue piece, and the red piece, and the... Ooh, where does this go? You know? I feel like I was pretty close there, but I just couldn't quite get it. I think I half solved it before you started, but it's hard to tell without being able to do it on my own. Yeah. See, that can go there, but then we still have the same problem again, I think. And I can't move the pieces round like I want to. He is trying to look 4 to 5 steps ahead. That is the thing I've never been able to do. Like, I love puzzles. Sorry, I shouldn't stop because I'm timing myself. I love puzzles. You guys know that. I am, like, super into puzzles. Always have been. Especially word puzzles. But the problem has always been with things where I have to think ahead. So, for example... Wait, how do I go back the way? There was a point where I could have probably gotten that piece on that side. No, I don't think I can do that. That's not gonna work. Oh, wait, hold on. No, now I can't move anything. I was so close. I was so close. I can't do it. This is doing nothing. I'm just moving pieces around. They're not actually going anywhere. Yeah, so, for example, I was being taught chess by my sister, and she was just like, oh, you've just got to, like, have a strategy for, what to do if they, you know, they go here and you go there, and then if they end up there, then you have this plan. And I was like, ow? I just like, my brain just can't. I've managed to do it a couple of times with things, but most of the time, being able to think like a certain amount of steps ahead, I just go, no, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stuck. Okay, I'm gonna restart. Because we kind of know what the problems are now, where the sticking points are. Can't really get anything into this gap, because this guy is always going to kind of be in the way. Because I can't move him out the way, I don't think. I can move him to the side, but I can never really move him down. Oh, wait, yes I can. There we go. But I still can't do anything with him, because now I can't move anyone else. Ah! Okay. The real key to solving slide puzzles is figuring out how to pop out the pieces so you can... I think I've told you guys this story before, but I was told in school that the only way to solve a Rubik's Cube was to take the stickers off. Am I getting somewhere here? I'm so close. But I can't quite get around it. And no one can move into that gap now. I'm just going backwards now. This isn't helping anyone. Yeah, so I was told that the only way to solve it was to take the stickers off. And I don't know if they were being facetious, or being like, Rubik's Cubes are so hard. Obviously, that's not the only way to solve them. I know that now. But at the time, that's what I was told. So I started taking the stickers off the Rubik's Cube that I had, and I got into trouble for it. Because I was like, oh, well, if that's like how you do it, then I guess I'll do that. It's rude about the cube. I know. And I got into trouble from my parents. Because they were like, what are you doing? Why are you destroying the Rubik's Cube? I was like, that's the only way to that's the only way to solve it, though. That's how I have to do this. That's what I was told. Yeah, so again, I don't know if they were, like, just being like, haha, there's no way to solve a Rubik's Cube, or they were trying to mess with me. I do not know. This isn't gonna work. I can't do that. Like, the only way to... I need to get this guy out there. Ah! Okay. Okay, I'm gonna restart again. I feel like I had a good thing, but I don't think I can go any further with it. Right, so, let's try and work this out logically. If I need to get up here, right, I need to get this guy out of the way, because there's no way that I can get past with this green piece up here where it is, because even if I slide it to the side, it's still in the way. So I need to get the green piece to move. But I also, when I'm moving pieces around, I need to be super mindful of using up all the space as much as I can. Because if I don't, we end up with loads of gaps, and then I can't move things because they're blocked. So I can't move that way. Oh, it's so close. So close, but I can't get that. Okay, there we go. I have moved the offending green piece. However, there's not much else I can do right now. Oh, there we go. Oh, no! Oh, I was so sure that was gonna work. Of course it wouldn't. I can't do that. That won't work. Oh, I wish I could just go back a couple of steps. I'm so close to hitting 10 minutes. Maybe I need to get the green one out of the bottom. I don't think I can, actually. I don't think there's any way I can do that. Thank you. Now we are no longer in a deficit, and I have -2 hint coins. I might have -2 before, and now I have -1, but I can't remember it, and I think I threw out the piece of paper that said. So, we're just gonna go with that. Is that your way of telling me that you're frustrated and you want me to just look it up? Like, please, this is painful. Ugh! I think you're struggling long enough. I have hit 10 minutes. No, I'm gonna keep going, because I think I've almost got it. I think. Maybe. Maybe not, actually. I love that if they were actually in, like, a big lift, they're, like, just being thrown around. It's quite funny. I'm guessing I need to try and get the green piece down here. I think what happened is I had an idea of what I was supposed to do, and then I just started going, oh, we're just gonna move this, woohoo, and then I didn't actually, like, keep thinking about what I wanted to do. I just kind of started just messing about. Yeah, I think I need to try and get the green one underneath somehow. I can't do that. That's the same thing again, just on the other side. Don't know why I tried that. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna try and take this out, but I actually think it's a better idea to have the yellow one out, because that fits in better spaces. And now it's just backwards, which is even worse. Maybe we could keep working with this, actually. Nope, no, we're just going in a circle if I do that. Please ignore that I've hit 200. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. No, I think I'm close. But I'll let you know if I need your help. I'll let you know if I need the hit to spend my hint coin. If people have enough money, we could get, I mean, money, channel points, we could get rid of the deficit. So what I really want to do is get this green one here, so that we can get a bit cooldown. Oh, what is the cooldown? I actually don't know what I have it set to. I should check that. I'm gonna check that. No, I'm not. So stop it. We're gonna actually finish this puzzle. 15 minutes? Oh, that's way too high of a cooldown. Why did I set it so high? What is wrong with me? I'm so close. I can feel it. I know that I'm close. Oh, but now I definitely can't get across. I feel like there must be a way to get this under here. But I don't know what it is. And I couldn't tell you. No, that's where we don't want it. We do not want it up here. Alright. We're at 15 minutes. I'm gonna pause. Well, we're not. We're at 14 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm gonna change the cooldown on... Oh, I forgot that it does that. It's like, oh, please stop. Just play your game. You don't need to look at things. Pause that. That'll stop it glitching out so much. Quickly go and pause the recording. Okay. Let's try this some more. I'm gonna, if we get to 20 minutes, I'll just look it up. But that would be cheating. Just a little. I did get the green squares out, and now I can't remember how I did it. I feel like it was just pure luck. Pure dumb luck. Yeah, I can't remember how I did it. No! Oh no. Okay, I think it was like that. I think that's how I did it. Even that. Put it up there. Look how close we are. So close, yet so far. I mean, if I can just get this piece past, I've done it. But I can't. I'm just going back and forth between two stalemates, basically. Wait a minute. Nope, still can't do it.
That should do the trick. Well, that's settled.
17.5 minutes. There you go. Oh. That's definitely, I don't think that's necessarily the quickest I've ever done it, but it's definitely not the longest I've ever taken on a slide puzzle. But also great the fact that the first puzzle was a slide puzzle, but you can't technically get a slide puzzle wrong because it just doesn't ever. You don't submit an answer, so there's no way to get it wrong.
Another puzzle solved.
Thank you, Second Sight. Everybody cheers in your another puzzle solved mugs. You may now pass through the gate. Oh, goody. Wasn't impossible. Wasn't impossible, buddy. Gonna have to try harder than that. Keep me out. It's actually, that would genuinely work in real life, though. Like, could you imagine if somebody made, like, I was gonna say if there was an escape room. I was gonna say a real life puzzle room. That's called an escape room. If there was an escape room that used a slide puzzle, I don't know whether I would be stuck or if I'd actually get past it quicker. Because it was physically in front of me. I don't know, I'd have to find out. I've never been to an escape room, but I really need to go to one. I definitely need to go to one at some point. Thank you very much for the hint coin, by the way. Yeah, I wanted to get a bot set up so that I have like a hint coin counter that is something that I can change myself. You know what I mean? So it goes up automatically, but I can like make it go down. So it's constantly incorrect. Anyway, it seems the boss was right about you. You must be the one he's waiting for. Does that mean we can enter? Down the street to the pagoda. I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you. Finally! We get to actually go in. Let's just do a quick savey saves. Just to be safe. Oh yeah, there's a way. I forgot that there's another way that I could do a catch up. This is, oh no, didn't mean to close it. This is all of the stuff that's been happening. Like everything that's including the talking rabbit. I love Layton, because you know what's one of the best things about Layton is just going, here's this thing that completely out of context sounds completely wild, and even in context sounds pretty crazy, and everyone who's played the game is like, yes, I remember that, and everyone who hasn't is like, excuse me, what? How is that a thing? Oh, I should also address the fact that if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching just the Layton playthroughs, yes, I have changed my hair. No, it is not permanent. I mean, the dye is temporary, but I mean, I am going to go back to pink and yellow. It's like this at the moment because during my subathon, one of the goals was to pick my hair color, and that's why I've ended up with this. But it will go back to pink and yellow at some point. Maybe even by the next time I do a Layton stream, if they take long enough. The towering pagoda is not far now. The Layton from your time and the one from mine are finally going to meet face to face. That might be tricky, because our professor's not here. Huh? Where's the professor? It's like he just disappeared. We just solved that puzzle that got us through the gate. Yes, and then we walked through the gate together. He was a bit ahead of us by that point. I think he might have waved at me before he vanished. Sorry? What? I agree. I agree with this confusion. What? But where did he go? I'm not sure. He was smiling as he dashed off, though. Trying to get a better Flora voice. But why? I have no idea. The professor's actions always have some purpose, though. Because he's figured out what's going on. That's why. Because he's figured it out and he's gone off to sort it out without you guys so you don't get in danger. Because that's what he does. Excuse me. I had a bit of something on my eye. Hey, Flora, there's a piece of paper stuck to your back. Oh, how embarrassing. Someone must be playing... That's not her voice. Someone must be playing a trick on me. There's something written on it. It's in the professor's handwriting. The paper says, kick me. Let's have a look. It says, go on without me. I'll catch up with you soon. I think we should do as he says. The professor's never led us astray, after all. I agree. This is probably all part of some brilliant plan that the professor's concocted. I don't know. I was like, oh, he's run off ahead, but now I'm suspicious of the way, because the way they're saying that is like it's setting it up to be like, that wasn't the professor. Something's wrong. He's been kidnapped. It's Don Paolo. It's all very well, but will one of you Lukes please take this paper off my back? Laura's got a great voice, right? Hint coin time. Let's look for hint coins. Watch out! Could get ambushed from above. I doubt there's any more. Oh no, there we go. There's one. Okay. Let's talk to this guy. He's got a puzzle for me. Hey, what are you lot doing back here? We're on our way to the towering pagoda. Not that it's any of your business. Not so fast. You're the ones who were in the rampage at the casino, ain't you? What if we are? Look at that little cheeky face. What are you gonna do about it? My bruv Chelton will give you a good iron if he hadn't gone to, spend a penny. Looks like we're in luck then, eh? We'll just be on our way now. If you run off, I'll make sure Chelton squishes you like an ant when he finds you. We'll bear that in mind. Wait, one more thing. Solve this puzzle! And they can't leave. It's like some weird thing that's ingrained in them that as soon as someone goes, hey, I have a puzzle, they literally physically can't move. They're like, oh, okay, I have to stay here and solve your puzzle. Photo finish. This photo, taken at a finishing line of a race, has been cut into strips and mixed up. Before it was cut, the photo displayed the runners in the order they finished the race. Which of the runners came third? Circle the letter that corresponds to your answer. Okay, so I can't move them. I can't move the pieces. But we can use all of the bits and bobs to fit them together. So this one, let's do a memo. I'm trying to figure out which one has to be lost. I can't see the back of the dog anywhere. It's quite faded when I do that, so it's hard to see. I can't see the dog's bum in any of the pictures. Unless it's... No, because it would be like right down here. I think this might have to be the last one. So let's go for 5 on this one. And this bird and this bird are the same, so that's obviously 4. And then this bird and this bird are the same, so that's 3. And then this bird and this bird are the same. But what's the order of everything else? Where's the little top hat? Oh yeah, it's all the characters. Did you know that all the characters that are shown in the puzzles actually have names? Yeah, I found that out last game. It's in the like special bonus features at the end. I think that this and this is the same hat. But I'm not 100% sure. Basically, we just need to figure out which one of these is the first one. I mean, I think that must be 1 and 2, right? Because that's the bird, and then that's the back of that. Oh no, it's not the back of that bird, because we can see like half of that bird. Oh, maybe I've got this wrong. No, I think that's right. So the 4th strip is the first one. Is that what we're thinking? Because I thought these were the 2 same birds, but maybe they're not. Yeah, Beth, yes, you can put what order you think it is. I used to use a graphics tablet to do this part, but my computer couldn't cope with having the graphics tablet and all the streaming stuff and the game and everything all at the same time. Person F has their hair in the last strip. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, I hadn't even noticed that. So yeah, that one and that one are definitely connected because that hat, the hat of G is also obviously the same person. Right? So that has to be 2. Oh, took me so thick. 4, 5, 2, 1, 3. Okay, so I feel like everyone's agreeing that this one is 1. I'm just making sure there's nothing that's like supposed to trip us up here. It's hard to see like the details of the characters when it's faded like this, so that's why I keep turning it off and on. So 1. Yeah, but okay, so 1, 2, 3. I'm just trying to... Yes, that's obviously into that one. But it's the bird that's really throwing me off. I guess that's the end of the bird, that tiny little bit we can see there. So that bird is just to throw us off, I think. And then 3 into 4, because that's the bird at the top. And then 4 into 5, because that's the bird at the bottom. Though I can't see the rest of the dog, but I think somebody's covering it up. One has 2 people in it, first and second place. Yeah, so first is H, second is I, and then this is... So F would be third. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I was gonna say. So F is third, because that's first place, second place, and then this is that's the back of second place's head. So F has to be it. No, but I'm not dead! What? Nobody died!
Funny 'cause they're true. Woo! Stupid death. Hope next time it's not you.
Sorry, I had coffee. There you go. Hello, Hey People Guy. How you doing? I'm gonna try and finish this coffee because it's been cold since I started the stream. I made it to, like, ages before. Well, I didn't make it ages before stream, but it was already cold by the time it started. Thank you. Let me just do a little zoom in. I was good lots of hearts. I'm thinking of buying, like, I saw someone online who used, like, a rubber stamp, like a craft stamp, but they used it with, water activated eyeliner, and, like, stamped it on their face. And I think I'm going to try and find one that's a heart. Because freehanding it isn't too difficult, but it's like, some of them are really big. So I think I'm going to try and find that. They used, like, a set that was all, like, stars and planets and stuff, and it looked super cute. But I feel like I want, like, a heart and a star, but just, like, a boring star, not, like, a fancy, sparkly thing, you know? My mum has a lot of stamps, so I might just ask my mum what she's got, if she's got any. I think she got rid of almost all her stamps though, so she probably doesn't. Okay, so we're all in agreement that F is third, right? Okay. Let's close our eyes.
I do believe
Fingers
I've
crossed.
got the answer.
Oh, it's Future Luke. Future Luke was saying that.
Success!
Success! Good eye. F came third by a nose. Also, I just prodded myself in the glasses. There's a big smear. Oh, also, I need all of your, not good lucks, but I need all of your support tonight. Because we're playing D&D, and everyone is pretty convinced that we're gonna have a complete party kill. Just because of, we don't have the best, we don't really have the advantage in this fight, shall we say. Anyway. Oh yes, there we go. And where's the dog? What? There he is. Oh, the dog was at the back. That's why we couldn't see his bum. That was it. I probably will. My character is probably going to die. So I decided, that's why I did my makeup like this, because I was like, it'll be fun for the stream, and then it's like bright, colourful makeup so I don't feel so sad. That's definitely how this works. Blast, you solved it. We really don't have any more time for this silliness. We'll be heading to the pagoda now. Pagoda, I can't say it right. Fine, but remember, you got lucky. If my bruv was here, you'd be one getting bossed around. Are you finished? God, he's rude. This ain't over. Mark my words, you're gonna get what's coming to you. Did Future Luke Luke's a little bit rude, isn't he?
I hope we find the professor soon.
God, I love it with this voice acting. I love Luke's voice.
Poor thing. You're just lost without him, aren't you, Luke?
Did we figure out that that was Nancy Drew? Because I feel like it sounds like Nancy Drew. And I don't know if that was in my head or not. Poor thing. You're just lost without him, aren't you, Luke? I'm trying to get the voice. It is. Yes, I knew it. I checked before. I also checked before when Liam O'Brien showed up. And I was like, Liam O'Brien? I got so excited.
You're a fine one to talk.
Whoa, and you don't get defensive, buddy.
Sorry to keep everyone waiting. Let's be off.
Layton, you're back. I don't know. I don't trust it now. I don't trust it now. I think it's Don Paolo. Everybody keep a really close eye on Layton, okay? Because if he starts acting weird in any way, if he seems shifty, even in the slightest bit, we're gonna pounce on him and try and pull off that face. That sounds bad. We will check to see if he has a mask on. We won't just try and pull his skin off. That's horrific. Flora's eyes still freak me out. She does have kind of freaky eyes. I get what's coming to me. I hope it's a pie. I love pies. You know, I'm sorry, my brain just did a million jumps. I'm really excited to play all of the Layton games because I haven't played the prequel trilogy all the way through before. And I don't think I ever finished this one, so I feel like this one's also a surprise. But the prequel trilogy is going to be way more of a surprise. And imagine if the band on the hat was a slightly different color. It kind of. Is it not usually the same color as his shirt? Because when I cosplayed him, I had to buy orange ribbon. Anyway. Again, I've said this before, we're not like pushing to get all of the games finished before the new one comes out. So we will probably play the prequels after the new game, maybe, depending on when it comes out. I think it's, here's a prediction, I don't think it's coming out till next year now, because I feel like they would have said something by now about the actual release date if it was coming out at the end of this year. But I might be wrong. Anyway, but yeah. Also, these three games have a special place in my heart because, yes, I played them as a kid, but also because they're all 2D. The later games start to go 3D and they're a little bit uncanny. You'll see what I mean when we get to them, but they're just a little bit, I think it was because you were talking about eyes freaking you out, and I was like, they kind of weird me out a little bit. I don't like them in 3D as much as I do in the 2D. It's just such a nice style. I think it's probably worth ramping up the Layton content in the last few weeks. Oh yeah, definitely. We're definitely gonna have Layton content galore. I have plans. I have vague plans, but I have plans of things that we can do, games we can play, like trying to do a 12-hour stream where we play all of the first three games. Looking at the fan translation of the novels. And maybe playing some of the mobile games, the ones that are still available. There are at least 2 mobile games that are considered lost media because they just disappeared, and there's no there's like a couple of recordings of them online, and that is it. That content will work in your favor. Did I tell you guys I emailed level 5, but I never got anything back. Sad. Anyway.
Where did you go? 1 minute you were there, and the next, you'd vanished.
I'll turn this up a little bit, because it's voice acting.
My apologies, Luke. I just needed to check something.
Is Future Luke suspicious?
But enough about that. Come along, everyone. The towering pagoda is just steps away.
Or is he nervous? Either this is actually Layton and he's doing his classic right before the reveal. He's gone off and figured something out and he's gonna come back and be like, this is what I was doing. Or it's not Layton and I thought his voice sounded different, but that could just be the compression of the game. Or it's not Layton and the actual Layton's just been kidnapped and there's gonna be a big reveal when we go inside. Because Future Luke stayed quiet, so I don't know. That's Don Paolo has impersonated Flora and somebody else, but I don't think he's impersonated Layton yet. If you want to do a fit check, has one already been done? One has not been done today, but the fit is not that exciting. But it's up to you if you want to do a fit check. Anyway, let's go. Cutscene, cutscene. Baby.
At
Hell yeah.
last, we're here. And somewhere up there is the future Professor Layton.
Perhaps, and perhaps not. I suspect this whole affair may be more complex than we originally thought. Yes.
Huh?
That little yes was so nice. Yes. I love that. That little more complex than we first thought. Yes. Searching for Professor Layton on YouTube doesn't bring up much beyond trailers and a few story reviews. Very little gameplay. I did find an English dub for the Eternal Diva. There's the Eternal Diva has like that's the movie. We need to watch the movie, guys. We need to have a movie night. That's another thing. I think the movie is part of the oh god, I'm gonna go on a deep dive now, but I'm pretty sure that the movie is part of the prequels, which is why I haven't been like, we need to watch it now, because I'm pretty sure it's part of the story. The prequels cover how Layton and Luke met, and they're also obviously full stories with puzzles and stuff, but they're about how they became puzzle partners, basically. Puzzle partners. It's like platonic life partner, but puzzle partner. I'm just gonna try and get some hit coins and then we'll do the fit check. I think that's probably it. Okay, quick fit check. Shwah! This is the outfit. This is one of my favorite shirts. I don't actually think it like suits me that much anymore, but I still love it, so I'm wearing it anyway. It's got little like multicolored feathers. I'm wearing my mushrooms. I got my fancy makeup on. And on the bottom half, I'm wearing pajamas. Oh, I don't know if you guys have seen these pajamas before, but they've got like animals doing exercise on them. There's like a little fox with a hula hoop and like a bear doing some yoga. It's quite cool. Anyway, what's more complex than time travel? That's a good point. Or it's super complex because there isn't time travel and that's what everyone's trying to make him believe. The exercises make you feel more like exercising yourself. No. That design should be on yoga pants. What a waste. There's I think it's the bear. The bear is dreaming about cake. There's like a little thought bubble and it's got cake and then it says, nope, not today on it. So it's like, he's like, no, I'm not gonna have cake today. I'm gonna do my exercises. No, you could do both. There's nothing wrong with doing both. Shall we head in? I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Because the first two games, I did remember the big reveal, or vaguely remembered the big reveal. This one, I don't know what's coming, like, at all. I've got an idea what it could be. Oh, it's an ad. Okay, well, I can't go in yet. If animals make you want to exercise, would that be motivation? You get the pun points for today. That's the Hippo guy gets all the pun points. I'll wait for the ad to finish. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that we can go into. The only problem with doing, like, lore deep dives and stuff is that...
It's _people_guy gifted 6 months of tier 1 to Bifebo 93.
6 months? What? Thank you so much, people guys. I was gonna be like, oh, that's so sweet. It's 6 months. That's wild. That makes a mole a motivational speaker. Alright, well, I guess we can go in now because the ad's finished. The only problem, I was gonna say, the only problem with doing like deep dives into lore and stuff for Layton is that we will end up spoiling the prequels sometimes. Yeah, because there's a lot of story moments in the prequels that kind of give things that happen in these games a little bit more weight. But we're playing them in the order they came out. And that's that. You have to bear with me while my dad jokes up Grace. Alright, here we go. There's gonna be a puzzle on the door, isn't there? I suppose it would be too much to expect the door to be open. Let's see. The eyes of this dragon seem to be the key that unlocks the door. Sounds like a puzzle! Let me handle it, Professor. I'll have the door open before you know it. Eye of the dragon. It's the Eye of the dragon. And it's 50 pickrats. Oh my god. They're really not pulling punches now. I mean, 50 pickrats isn't like 99 pickrats, but still. What have we got? These dragon eyes are not spheres, but dodecahedrons. That means both of them are 3D objects made up of 12 pentagons. Dodecahedron is a 20-sided die, right? I think I've got that. Like, sorry. It's like a 20-sided die. It's a 20-sided shape. Though one of the eyes is already made, the other one still needs to be assembled. Oh, I'm bad at these ones too. Which option, A, B, or C, will create an eye that's exactly the same as the other one when folded together? I don't know if it's 12 pentagons, and it's 12-sided. Wish I'd got here earlier and stuck something on 3+ so people have a bit more to win. Yeah, I did say it's I was like, oh, it's a shame Shogun isn't here. That's the only problem with doing a prediction, is that I can't obviously make it run the whole time, because then that's not going to work. I'm going to predict that this game reveals that Layton isn't Layton at all, but his evil twin, AI Tony. Dun dun dun! Ju just made a big noise when you started singing. I love it when dogs sing along. We looked out at Ow, Tony. Oh, because it's Layton, but an anagram. I see. I misunderstood. I thought you said AI Tony. AI Tony! That's funny. We were looking after a dog once, and we were watching, like, Mastermind? No, Taskmaster highlights on YouTube, and every time the theme came on at the end, the dog would start singing along, and it was super cute. Surely his evil twin would be Dr. Not Yal. No, well, I know, I was gonna say his evil twin is Don Paolo, but Don Paolo looks absolutely nothing like him. Anyway. God, I love Professor Layton. Okay. Which one will look exactly the same? Not C. Because if this, I'm trying not to click on it, but I should have put this on. This and this. So if we fold it up, that would meet that. I think. No, that would meet. These two would meet together. These two would meet together. And that means that these two would meet together, which means it's not C, because that doesn't line up. I think. Bear with me here. This is going to be harder. Those two would meet. Those two would meet. Those two would meet. Those two would meet. Which means those two would meet. So it could be A. It could be A. Let's try it with this one. Those two. Those two. Those two. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's A. My immediate reaction to this puzzle was, oh no, oh no, oh no. It's trying to think of things in 3D space. I'm not very good at that either. But I think I worked out how to think of it. I think it's A. What do you guys think? Do you have any opinions? Moustache and a goatee, as per STOS? Star Trek original series? I'm assuming that's what you mean. I'm not gonna lie, I'd have cheated and made it out of paper. In the past, I have cheated and made it out of paper, but I'm not making like a 12-sided die out of paper just for one puzzle. Yes! My brain went STOS, I have no idea what that is. And then I was like, well, wait a minute, OS is probably original series. And then I realized Star Trek, obviously. I can tell it's not C, that's what my brain has today. I'm pretty sure it's A. So I'm gonna go... Hello! I don't know why I did a drum for that. No, boogie.
I have come to boop. Boop.
Thank you for the boop. I had a horrible feeling that the recording was still paused, and I was like gonna cry, but it didn't. Hello, Ravenwood. Come in, come in. We're doing puzzles. We're playing Layton again. I love Layton. Anyway, we're gonna go for A. I'm doing it. I'm pushing the button.
How about this?
Yes.
No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Exactly. No, not the original hype. I'm gonna change the emote back just so it actually your copy paste actually works. Way to go. The answer is A. The dragon's eyes flash and the door is unlocked. All set. Smashing work. There's no time to celebrate. Let's head inside. Oh, no, you didn't interrupt me. You're good. You're good. I've been being distracted by, like, every tiny little thing under the sun. You're good. Just realized you could cut them in half and stick the other ends together to confirm. Ah, yeah. Here we go. Funky music. I love it when the first thing I click on, it gives me a hint coin. My eyes are irresistibly drawn to this fearsome dragon. It is very fierce, isn't it? I'm just trying to get... Shut up! Just trying to make... Okay, we're good. Let's go. You're gonna need a cuddle too. Yeah, you can't kill one dog and not the other one. That's not fair. Let's hurry, we must stop your future self. Oh, okay, I actually have to hit it. Sometimes I have to hit it, sometimes I don't. What'd she say? They might be evil and all, but the family certainly have style. I wouldn't say they're evil. A bit much. Though they have called him Evil Layton, so I guess maybe they are. Did Herschel remember to pack his backup line? Herschel? I love calling him Herschel. I'm at work, so I won't be able to talk much. That's okay, Raven. You be sneaky at work. I hope your day is going okay. Sorry, just I had something stuck in my finger. The coin cannon. No, they left that in the casino. They dropped it and ran, so they don't have it anymore. But he could make like a he could make a dragon thing, I'm sure, because there's so many dragons around. I'm sure he could just pick one up, turn it into a flamethrower. Luca would be happy. What's this contraption, Professor? It appears to be a peculiar set of goggles. I think they're too big for me. Let's see. Some sort of personal projection device. Sorry? Hey, you know what? Think of it as a television for one, Luke. Only the wearer can see the image display inside. It's a VR headset! Oh my god. That's so funny. Turn that down a bit, sorry. Canada really needs massive rains. Everything is sepia outside. Yeah, someone else was saying earlier that it was like super yellow and foggy, but not foggy because it's like ash. But that's wild. It's happening again. I reckon the coin cannon would be fun to make for cosplay. Adapt one of those kids' toys that launches little foam discs. Oh, that's such a good idea. Oh, but it's so niche, but it's so fun. I still have my Professor Layton top hat. I don't have it with me, but it's with the rest of my cosplay stuff at my parents'. I could... Oh, that's... Stop giving me ideas. Stop it. Stop it now. I'm gonna just write coin cannon cosplay. Just down here. Just, don't mind me. Don't mind me. Okay. Think of it as a television for one. Oh yeah, sorry. I'd wager that there's a puzzle in these goggles that only the wearer can see. I've just had a ridiculous idea, even by my standards. Oh no. Solving it is probably the only way to get to this door. Now that's high tech! It should fit me comfortably. Let's have a look. I'm losing his voice. I'm sorry. Ooh. Oh my god! Oh my god, he looks ridiculous! Herschel, what do you see, Professor? Those glasses make you look like a bug. A robot bug! No, she's from the south. I don't know why her voice I can't keep her voice. Those glasses make you look like a bug. A robot bug. She's gonna be English now. I think something's coming into focus here. funny. Strange glasses. I don't know if you heard, there was a really quiet, like, robot beep when he put those on. Okay. These two circular images show what you're seeing through. I'm sorry, I have to look at it. Look how stupid he looks. I am so excited about this. Oh, Flora's so cute. We crowdfund a pair of cosplay outfits for Lara and Joe with gender swap Layton, then send them to Comic-Con events to promote the stream, taking the cosplay coin cannon. Oh my god, you know, that's not a terrible idea. But I don't think I don't know how it would work promoting the stream. Maybe, you know what? I make the coin cannon, we make the cosplay, then we contact Nintendo and are like, I will promote the new game if you send me to conventions. I'll do it for you. Oh man. Anyway. These two circular images show what you are seeing through your right and left eyes. Why did you say it like that? The images were originally the same, but one of them has now been flipped right to left and rotated an unknown amount. The shapes are all the same as in the original image with the exception of one, which has been slightly altered. Circle the shape that's been altered. Okay. This shouldn't be too hard. Easy, the foam coins have the stream logo on one side and the channel name on the other. So I just stand with the cannon and go just fire it at people and like watch the stream. That's so funny. I love that. That is such like, it's not guerrilla marketing, but you know, it's like, that's wild. That's a great idea. Okay, so they've been flipped right to left and rotated. Okay, so I think the easiest way to do this would be things like looking at the way that this shape is pointing. Things like that. So this shape is pointing towards the circle, and it is on this side as well. The moon is facing towards the circle. I think the has a stage for cosplay. It would be such a niche, but I feel like anyone in the audience who knows what it is would be like super hype about it. You know? I come on as Layton and I'm just like, gun! Massive casino gun! What does it even look like? I don't even remember what the casino gun looks like. Hold on. I don't remember what it... I'm just gonna search, Layton casino gun. Slot machine gun, that was what it was called. Okay, so in the puzzle, it looks like that. It's very steampunk. But in the... there's a GIF. I don't know if they changed what it looks like in the GIF. No, it looks pretty much the same in the GIF. It's just you only see it from the front, so it's harder to tell. The fact that Future Luke just comes up and pours a whole bucket of coins into the gun is just so funny to me. It's just like, look, okay, sorry, I know it's bad quality, but he just pours this whole bucket of coins in. Oh my god, that would be such a fun thing to make, actually. I would... oh my god, I would love that. I kind of want to do that now. Imagine the hype it could generate. It's a ridiculous idea. It's hilarious, though. Should I make the... I could make the cannon, even if there's no plan to go anywhere with it. I could just make it for funsies. Behind the scenes build videos. Look, why are you not my, like, content manager? I was talking earlier about, how I watched a TikTok that was like, you should spend less than 25% of your time, your content creation time, on actually live streaming. And the rest should be done, like, editing, posting, filming things separately, things like that. So, maybe I should just spend all my time making a gun. That's where I'm going with that. Anyway, let's do the puzzle. Let's have a swig of this, and we'll do the puzzle. Also, I wish I liked tea. Maybe I should get, like, a nice little, like, Layton teacup. Not a coffee cup, like a little teacup, and then I'll put monster in it. Okay, is this one the different one? I don't think so. Okay, everything on first glance looks the same. I thought this wasn't going to be too difficult, but now I'm a bit concerned. Okay. I think the way to do this would maybe be to just flip it. Oh, no, because it's also been rotated. I could just draw it in real life and then flip it. But I feel like that's cheating. If you want to really lean into the gender swap and slightly odd canon lore, you could have Joe as male Flora. I feel like... I don't know what Joe would even cosplay. I think I could maybe get him to do... I don't know. I mean, we have the hat for Luke, so we could start a future Luke cosplay. Or I could make him one of the bad guys. That could be fun. Like, he could be not from the same game. Could you imagine going to a convention and seeing a Professor Layton cosplayer with a slot machine gun and a future Luke cosplayer with just a bucket of what looks like coins? And it's such a niche. It's such a specific cosplay. I love it. I don't think it'd be cheating to write it out. It would be using your resources. I like the way you think. Where's my... I have a little pad of paper that normally sits right here. I think I must have, like, accidentally knocked it off the edge of the table. Because it's not there. I don't want to use, like, my nice paper. I see some pretty niche cosplays, to be honest. Yeah, that's fair. That's my return to cosplaying. I haven't cosplayed in years, and the first cosplay back, I do a super ridiculously niche Layton cosplay. Also, I realize you can't really hear the puzzle music. If you're watching this on Twitch later, you won't hear it at all, but if you're watching the recording, it's very quiet. Okay. Let's draw it out. So we have a circle. Oh wow, that's a terrible circle. See, if I still had my art software, I would be able to just rotate it and flip it, and it would make this so much easier. But unfortunately, I can't. I could try. Let's try it. Oh, it's already having a problem. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you opening things? Okay. It should already be... Okay, now it's visible. Right. Okay, I'm gonna pause the game so it doesn't do that. Alright, let's just very carefully draw this because I only have my mouse. Oh my god, why is this lagging so much? It's so laggy. Gonna put on some other music. That is definitely a star. There is nothing that could change about this circle, I don't think. So that's just gonna be... No. That looks like it's the crossing out one. This is just a circle. Why is this not working very well? Why is this so laggy? Sorry, this is not very it's not professional. It's just a bit broken. Now, is it a trick in that the center one is the one that's changed? Because I don't think that's possible, because I think I have to click on the letter. Help. Okay. Moon. So, if we do like a 12-hour Layton stream, Right. Or longer. We could also play, we could play the mobile games, and we could also play the, the remastered version of the game. Sorry, I couldn't think what I was trying to say there. Right, now... Oh, I can't flip it, can I? Oh, that's annoying. I don't think I can flip it in this software. Oh, no, there we go. Flip canvas horizontally. There we go. You can't see it. Hold on, I'll move it back. That's the center. And then I can rotate it. No, not there. Rotate it. Oh, so close. I wondered if it would be the cross. The circle with the cross in it. That's the only one that's changed. The circle and the cross in it's been rotated. I'm pretty sure that's it. Hold on. Oh, where did that go? Yeah. Okay, good. If we're all in agreement, I can close this and stop my computer lagging so much. Can I make it point to the center? That's always one. No, okay, it has to be this. Right. Yeah, you're right, because it's... Yeah, No, I see what you mean by the perpendicular. If you just said that without me doing all of those steps, I would have had no clue what you meant, but I understand now. Okay.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Did I kind of cheat? Yes, because I wouldn't have been able to do that
satisfy like a puzzle solved.
on the original DS, but it's fine. It's fine. Terrific. The answer is the shape G. It's easy to be fooled by the flipping, but if you pay attention to the relationship between the shapes and the axis, the answer's pretty easy to find. Well, it's no different than taking a bit of scrap paper and then flipping it over. That's true, actually, yeah, it's just more high-tech. Just like the glasses. Phew, what a relief to take those off. I was feeling all lightheaded and I was having trouble focusing. But it was all worth it. Thanks to you, the door's unlocked and we're free to move on. That feels like such an You know what? I was gonna say that feels like such an unnecessary thing, but that kind of feels like a Bond villain thing of like, I'm gonna make you do all of these really stupid things before you get to me just to prove that I know I'm better than you. Every Layton game should come with tracing paper. I agree. I think I've got a couple of other like DS games that I want to play after this Layton, because if we finish this Layton before the new game comes out, I don't want to just jump into another Layton game. I want to play something different. But yes, this obviously we will play the rest of the Layton games at some point, but I think we're gonna wait till after the new ones come out. We'll just do a bunch of Layton based things. Here we go. Do you see how high we jumped on the map? Anyway. I'm so good at finding hint coins, baby. Okay. It's so gloomy. And there are dragons all over the place. Again, English. Why can't I do her accent? I had it like at one point and then I lost it again. Alright, here's the guys. You're the one who's been bullying my brother, Barmy. You're gonna pay for that. Very well. Look who went crying to the older boys. What an impressive act of bravery. Oh, sorry, he said well. I can't read. Quiet, you. What was I supposed to do back there? I was outnumbered. There, I understand. You're only small and you had no chance of stopping us. Luke gets sassy. What is happening? So you're getting this big lump here to do the dirty work for you. Again, this is not his voice. Ugh, sticks and stones, sunshine. Believe you me, if the boss allowed violence in the pagoda, I'd have pounded you already. Since I can't do that, I'll have to sock it to you with this vicious puzzle. Definitely the right way to go about it. Big Luke. I forgot they said he was gonna call him Big Luke. Would you like me to deal with this one, Big Luke? Don't trouble yourself with the piece of riffraff, Professor. I can handle anything he dishes out. Professor! Do you think that future Luke went to finishing school and that's why he doesn't talk like past Luke anymore? Future Luke is very sassy. I'm concerned with what the modern internet would do with it. Two criminals want to use this board to seal... Oh, God, one of these ones. Okay. Two criminals want to use this board to seal off the cave where they store their smuggled goods. If they cut the board into two pieces of identical size and shape, they'll be able to seal the cave entrance completely. Draw lines on the board where it needs to be cut. Okay, so I need to make two shapes that are the same. Okay. I always feel like it's going to be easier than it is. Then I spend ages, and then at the end I'm like, oh, that was so obvious. Every time. That's what I do every time. Sorry, I'm just trying to do some without drawing on it first, because I'm trying to work things out. That was quick! Good job. Well done. How about you? Throw a puzzle. Take that. What are you going to do with that, huh? Solve it? Okay. It doesn't say that they can't be rotated this time. Often in these puzzles it will say you can't rotate them. It doesn't say that this time. So... Well, my first thought is this, but obviously there's lots of squares missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there needs to be 7 per board for this to work, right? That doesn't work though, because then if that's one like that, then that would need to be here, and that's not possible. Okay, I know that's probably a super easy way of working this out. Oh, Mox has got- everyone's got it. Everyone's getting it but me. Okay, I think this tiny gap is gonna have to be the part of the solution. That's it. I got it. Is that right? Yeah, that looks right. I did it. Is that what you guys had? Wonderful. There was condensation on my can of Monster and I just went to be like, perfect, and I splashed myself in the eye. Okay. Okay, cool.
I do believe I've got the answer.
No! Oh, I forgot he frowns.
Puzzling?
Oh,
I think not.
that is, oh my god, so mean. I forgot that he frowned before he goes, that's right, because when the other characters frown, it means you've got it wrong. That's so mean. They did that on purpose. They did that on purpose because everybody knew the code of how the... Anyway, we're moving on. Good job. The board needs to be cut as shown above. As you can see, the criminals have flipped on the pieces and sealed the cave entrance tight. Yes, because it didn't say you couldn't flip it. That's the tricky part normally. So much for that puzzle. What are you going to do now? I'm going to stop commenting on the fact I can't do voices. You're just going to have to not comment on the voices, okay? Ugh. You're lucky the boss doesn't let me rough people up in here. But you've got to go out. You've got to go outside at some point, and when you do, watch your back. Yeah, too right. No bark and no bite. Come on, everyone, we've got places to be. He's American now. Ah! I can't keep Flora American, but then Future Luke just slips into American sometimes. It's because if I try and do Little Luke's voice, it's way too Cockney. Anyway, let's move on. Oh god, I must do so much talking later. I'm gonna have to have like a nice big cup of fruit tea. What a fine hat that gentleman is wearing. Oh wait! Professor Layton, confused by mirrors. He's like an animal. He's like a cat. He's like, oh, that's me. There's some voiceover work that needs to be done. Oh, if only he was home, but unfortunately he's working. Imagine if Future Luke was actually Evil Layton. I wouldn't put it past this game. That feels like something this game might do at the last minute. It'd be like, Luke's just like, I just gotta go pee. You guys like go on without me, and then you turn the corner and it's him dressed as Layton. That would be so good. Alright, let me just fix my lipstick. Very important. I need to fix my lipstick, guys. I love this color, but unfortunately it has absolutely no staying power. slides off and puts a head mask on. It's like, he just comes back with a hat. I mean, he's just put it on top of his blue hat, so it's just like double hats. He's two. Oh, what's that character's name? Johnny Two Hats. I should have remembered that. That wasn't that hard. Strange. This whole room is covered in mirrors. It's very confusing. I've got no idea which way we need to go. It seems we've hit a dead end. How do you think we should proceed, Big Luke? I think Layton's on to Big Luke. I think Big Luke is suspicious, and I think Layton's on to him, and that's why he keeps asking him questions instead of his Luke. Because normally he would ask his Luke, unless he's only asking him because he's from the future, so he might know. Hat and false moustache. Room of mirrors. Natural solution. Smash him. Well, you know what? Yeah, I don't think that would solve it. Maybe we have to press a hidden panel on one of the walls to open the door out of here. Close, but not quite. If my guess is correct, the door is hidden in the dark over there, but we can't just rush headlong into the shadows. There's no telling what traps await us. Now I see what... now I see what you're getting at. Again, American. Are you saying that this room is a puzzle, Professor? This whole room is a puzzle. He's so excited. That's right, Luke. And I'm about to solve our way out of here. Ooh, the mirror maze. 50 picker rats. I hope we don't finish the game. I don't feel like... do we feel like we're there? I feel like we're getting close to the end of the game. And we've got like 2 hours left to stream. Maybe we are going to finish the game. Oh no. What will I do? Anyway, we're having fun. 16 circular rooms are arranged in a square as shown below. Beams of light shine in straight lines from each of the 4 letters A, B, C, and D and exit through the 4 yellow arrows. 2-sided mirrors in 4 of the rooms reflect these beams. Each beam passes through the number of rooms listed next to its letter. Okay, I understand. Identify which 4 rooms contain mirrors and the direction each mirror faces. Touch the rooms to add or remove mirrors and change their direction. But we don't get to see the light. It's entirely possible you're closer than we think, but I have absolutely no idea. It's sometimes it's hard to judge, because sometimes you're like, oh, we're going off to meet like the big final boss of the game, and then it turns out that that's actually just a bait and switch. Because like 3 times we've tried to meet Future Layton and it's not worked. So I don't know if this is gonna happen again or if we're gonna... Anyway. Okay, I think I know... Right, I know what I'm doing, I think. But it's gonna be a bit tricky. So... yeah, okay. This one passes through 8 rooms. That's a lot of rooms. Can I... I can. Wonderful. Okay. Two-sided mirrors in 4 of the rooms. There's only 4 mirrors. So they gotta work double time. Okay. God, I don't even know where to start. Okay, logically I'm like, I should work backwards from the exit arrows. Sorry, I'm turning the music up again because it's super quiet. The puzzle music is so quiet, but then the rest of the music's always so loud. I can't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not enough rooms. Okay. It would be physically impossible for the light coming from B to go out this one or this one. Because it has to go through way too many rooms, because it can only go through 4 rooms. So it either is going to go out 1, 2, 3, 4 that way, or it's going to go out 1, 2, 3, 4 that way. Okay? That's the first step. Work that out. However, this one goes through 5 rooms, so this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out that way, or it could do like a little convoluted little jumpy thing and go out this way, but it probably can't go up here. I don't imagine that's going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. So, A and B have to go out these 2. right? We'll work out the mirrors in a second. So A and B, let's do little notes on them, actually. Look, I don't I'm doing it with a mouse, okay? A/B. That one's way more legible. So this has to be C or D. Oh, I didn't even notice that C was also 4, which means 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes straight out. I don't think that really has another option. Because if it goes back on itself and goes out that way, that's going to be more than 4, right? Can you do color-coded blobs to the possibilities? That is probably a better idea than trying to write it, yes. So A is red. So A and A and B is green. B and B. And then C is blue, and I'm pretty sure that has to be C. And there's a purple, so we'll just do brown up there. So I'm pretty sure C just has to go straight through, which means we don't want any mirrors on this part. We're gonna work with that assumption for now. No mirrors on any of these. Second AB set wasn't where you first set it up. Oh! Oh! Thank you, God. That would have been so bad if you guys hadn't noticed that. So A/B/ and then C's up there. Yeah, I got that wrong. Thank you for pointing that out. That would have been really annoying if I'd gone through that whole thing without realizing that. Okay, so are we all good? Do we think we're all good? So in order for wait. Yeah, so A goes that way is more likely. Let's work this out. So if I put a mirror here for A, and I put a mirror there for B, let's work out the light from that. See how that goes. So A would go boing and out, and B would go boing and out. And C would just go straight up. And now we need to get D to do 8 rooms. So that needs to go bounce. It needs to bounce and then bounce back. Without using more than 2 mirrors. Okay, here, people guy, do you think I'm on the right tracks, or am I very off course? D could use the back of B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8! Oh, so clever! Okay, like that. So the light from D would go up, bounce, bounce, out. Yes! I realize that just looks like a mess now. You can't really tell what's going where. But we can do it again. So up, bounce, bounce, out. Bounce, out. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we've got it. I think we've got it.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
I was so worried it was going to be Future Layton. I was like,
Just
I don't know how to
as I
read you.
suspected.
I didn't realize that would reveal the whole path for D. But no, you were totally right on the ball with that. I forgot. I knew they were still double-sided, but for some reason my brain wasn't thinking I could use it again, even though I knew that I could. Right then, let's press on. Alright then, let's go. Okay. I've had a lot of coffee. I might just have a pee break in a sec. Well, I'll try and time the ad break anyway. Seems my theory was right. This way, everyone. This way, everyone! Let's go. Through the mirrors. A clock, eh? Suspicious of clocks. Professor, I think this is the top floor. We must be close now. Is that? That doesn't look very safe. Careful, little Luke. If you get hurt, I'll be in trouble too. I will stop existing. No pressure, Luke, but you can't die. I don't like this. This looks like a slide puzzle. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Future Professor's quarters are probably on the other side of that door. How are we supposed to make it across this huge gap? Oh, something so loud music. Does anyone else think? Oh, whoops. She said something about the floor looking weird. An astute observation, Flora. It seems the floor of this room is yet another puzzle for us to solve. The Future Layton loves to keep things dramatic, doesn't he? That does seem to be the case. Now let's get started on this puzzle. The Dragon Walkway. 60 picarats. I like to think you guys are like, that's nothing. I've got 2,000 picarats right now. There's only one way to get across this room. In order to proceed, you have to work out how to put the 4 pieces of the Dragon Walkway back together. Spiked ball can also be moved freely. Great, it's a slide puzzle! That's just what I love! I love slide puzzles so much! I love when the game's like, when it's time to be tricky, it just goes, here's a slide puzzle. Okay, yet again I'm gonna time myself. I'm gonna set a little timer. If we get longer than 20 minutes, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we'll just see. Hopefully I don't, because I do need to pee. So, let's go. Okay, it started. Love the sliding blocks noise in this game. I don't get sick of that at all. Hold on. Okay, give me a sec. The dragon... I've just realized the dragon pieces are very obvious. Like, this has to go at the top. That has to go at the bottom, because you can tell that's a head, that's a tail. A lot of space to move these pieces around in. Tell you that. No, that gets me stuck. Hold on. Wait, have I done it?
That should do the trick. Just as I suspected.
Baby! I did a slide puzzle in less than 2 minutes. Can I please get it? Ahoya! I don't know why. That's so cringe. I don't know why I said that. Okay. I'm just gonna bask in that glory for a minute. Just don't mind me. Just gonna take that in. We did it. Future Layton awaits on the other side of the Dragon Walkway. Okay. Oh, how nerve-wracking. Thank you. That is the appropriate response. There, it's safe to cross now, everyone. Okay. I'm gonna... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Past Luke. I'm gonna save here, and I'm gonna take a minute, and we're gonna have a break. And then we will be back to maybe finally, possibly, meet the Future Layton. I'll be right back. Boop. Hello. We're back. I'm back from my break. We're going in. Is everybody ready? No, not really. None of us are. Alright, stand back. We're opening the door. At last, we get to meet the future Professor Layton. Why did I struggle so much? Let's be careful, everyone.
Professor, is that...
Welcome, Future Layton.
Doesn't look anything like him.
I demand an explanation.
Sorry, forgot to change it back. Doesn't look anything like him. He's so pale. His hair is so long. I mean, obviously it's 10 years in the future, but still. Here we go. This is that music. Sorry, I'll let them do the talking.
Are you really Professor Layton?
Yes, of course.
You don't sound like Professor Layton.
Don't you recognize your old friend?
You really don't sound like Professor Layton.
I don't know. Something about you seems off.
Surely you recognize yourself, Herschel. Misfortune, our fortune, is a result of your ambition and genius.
I agree.
What is it, Professor?
You've put on quite a show, but it's clear to me that you're nothing but a charlatan.
Oh, is that so?
What tipped you off, Professor?
Yes, what indeed? I'm all ears.
Why does he give me vampire vibes? You, sir, are a fraud, and exposing you for the imposter that you are will prove simple. Look at Future Luke in the back. He looks so cross. Look at him. Okay. That was a proper, like, objection pose there. Years before he would meet Phoenix, right? Fascinating. Do continue. Luke, would you be so kind as to solve a quick puzzle for me? Sorry, it's annoying. I have to adjust the music on the fly because it's so loud at some points, it's so quiet at other points. I apologize if it's really annoying when you're watching it, but hopefully you haven't even noticed. Right now, Professor, aren't we in the middle of something here? I like this now. I like this addition of Luke questioning the puzzling at certain times. Like, there's a point in the last game where he was like, I don't think this is an appropriate time for a puzzle, Professor. And here it is again. Oh, okay. We're just going straight into it. Looking up. Blocks have been carefully stacked as shown in the image below. Has this got anything to do with anything? Okay, fine, whatever. The image is a view from the side. Oh no, I hate these ones. Okay. The image is a view from the side, and the perspective has been rotated in an unknown direction. Gravity is acting on the block, so any block not touching the surface of a block below it will fall. When you're looking at the blocks from the correct angle, which direction A, B, C, or D is up? Okay. It can't be C, because this... Oh, sorry, I didn't even show you guys. It can't be C because this little green block would fall. So it's not C. Hold on, I'll do it so you can actually see it. It's not A because this purple block would slide down. Can't see anything that would stop it being D, though. Oh, it's not B, because this yellow one will fall. So that means it has to be D. Yeah. Let me just... The phrasing was really confusing. The images of you from the side and the perspective's been rotated in unknown direction. That really threw me off. I thought it was going to be one of those ones where it's like visualize how it will look from the top if this is a side view. I hate those. Anyway, it wasn't one of those. I'm pretty sure it's D. Am I going to break my perfect streak for today? Yeah, because if B was the top, then this block would fall. So yeah, it has to be... D is the top. I don't think there's anything that would fall. So, here we go.
How about this?
Good, good. We haven't
No
broken the
puzzle
streak.
can stop Layton's apprentice.
Exactly, Luke. You tell him. You got it. D is indeed up. When you look carefully at the stack from each angle, you can see which blocks will be pulled down by gravity, with the exception of when D is up, all other possibilities involve blocks falling. That's what I said! Okay, I'm glad I got it right. Yes, yes, the boy is quite bright. We all know that. But what does that have to do with anything? I'm getting there. But first, a question. I have a pen in my pocket. It's either red or blue. Could you tell me which colour it is? What a terrible and uncharacteristic query for you to make. There's no logic for me to work through. I'm not a mind reader and I refuse to guess blindly. How can I solve your puzzle without a single hint? Because you're me, surely. So in other words, you have no idea what colour pen I have in my pocket. Of course not. That's funny. Oh? Luke, what would happen if you removed the bottom row of blocks from that pile I just showed you? The rest of the blocks would fall down, I suppose. That's right. Those blocks in the middle of the structure don't float in midair. Only by resting on the blocks beneath them can they blocks surely be elevated. Wow, I'm messing this up. If you were really my future self, you would have experienced this very moment before. There is simply no way you could forget it. Given your answer, I can only assume that your memory of this crucial event is missing. But remember those blocks. All blocks are supported by other blocks. I'm also losing his voice. When you every puzzle has an answer. When you remove one, everything on top of it comes tumbling down. The same goes for memory. You can't simply be missing a whole block of memory. It would destroy your very persona. Interesting way of going about that. It all makes sense now, does it? Does it make sense? I see. So what colour is the pen in your pocket then? My pockets are empty. There was never a pen there to begin with. Also, Layton would never have a beard.
I had a feeling you were behind this, Dr. Stungun. Or, should I say, Dimitri Allen?
An impressive deduction. Does
Honestly,
anything
O'Brien,
ever get
of course.
past you, Herschel?
Okay. 2 puzzles solved. Dr. Stungun is really Dimitri Allen, one of the scientists involved in the time machine accident 10 years ago. The Future Layton turned out to be Dimitri Allen, the famous scientist renowned for his research on time travel. But what was Dimitri's reason for posing as the future Professor Layton? I'm surprised you guys aren't, like, freaking out in the chat. We're solving all the puzzles, guys. Come on.
Hats off to you, Herschel.
Oh, sorry, wrong screen. Love this music.
So you're the one who's been kidnapping scientists under my name. But why?
Have you ever tried to build a time machine by yourself? It's a Herculean task.
Well, I mean, what is there to say other than OMG? I mean, yeah. Is it just me or does Dimitri look like Johnny Depp? You know, now that you're pointing it out, I do see it. Hold on, I'm just adjusting my necklace. Nope, that was wrong. Ah! There we go. Oh my god, I just thought of the best joke about the coin cannon and the cannon event meme thing that's going on TikTok. I think you can make it yourself.
And by pinning the blame on you, I could disguise myself as one of the poor scientists who vanished. Conveniently, that also provided an excellent way to lure you here.
Why are we luring anybody anywhere?
After all, the virtuous Herschel Layton would never stand by as someone sullied his good name.
It's a good point. Okay, time for a business meeting to discuss this new revelation. BRB with the deets. Have a good meeting, Mox. I hope it goes well. I imagine I'll still be here because you're not going for lunch when you get back.
Sure enough, you came running. And faster than expected at that.
I mean, it took me a really long time, so I don't know what you were expecting.
You're a real piece of work.
Ooh, that's like Luke swearing at him. The way he's like, oh.
So why me? You could have chosen anyone to be the scapegoat.
Oh no, it had to be you. You see, you play a critical part in the completion of my time machine.
He looks a little bit like a mad scientist right now.
Or rather, your memories do.
What?
What are you saying?
I agree.
The best part is that I've already got what I need from you.
Of course. So that strange device.
The goggles.
Finally catching on, eh? Those glasses you put on were a cognitive capture unit of my own design.
See, I was thinking at the time, why is future Luke not wearing them? Because past Luke was like, I mean, little Luke was like, oh, they don't fit me. But there was another adult in the room that could have put them on.
In layman's terms, a memory recorder.
That's pretty rad.
But what
Technology.
use could you possibly have for my memories?
Why, they provide me with data, of course.
You know what I've just remembered? Sorry, this is so unrelated to what's currently happening in the scene, but I've just remembered that Layton thought he saw his old girlfriend. And now I'm super intrigued to see if that's part of this. It must be important. Like, it must be part of this plot that he saw his old girlfriend walking around.
Your memories contain all the information I need to recreate that fateful day's experiment.
Which day?
The day the machine blew up, Layton, come on.
The day I lost everything that mattered to me.
I still don't understand.
I'd imagine you know quite a bit about loss yourself, Herschel. Think, man.
Think, man.
I'm talking about Claire.
You brought her up. He mentioned her. Look at me, knowing what's coming.
Claire.
As you know, time travel is based on movement through wormholes. One end of the wormhole is anchored in the present. But every wormhole also needs a point of origin. And to find this point of origin, one needs data. Both you and Bill had substantial interactions with Claire on the day of the accident.
Wait, why is Clara so important?
Using your memories of those interactions, I will triangulate the point right before her death.
But I thought Clara was Layton's. Why are you trying to save his... what?
Of course, finding a wormhole's point of origin is no easy task.
I love Professor Layton.
If my calculations were even the slightest bit off, I could be trapped forever.
Then why take the risk? What do you stand to gain?
Everything. You see, like you, Herschel, I loved Claire.
Oh! I was not expecting that. Okay.
So, you intend to travel back through time and save her?
I'm sorry, Layton, you're not going to be surprised by this? This is another man trying to steal your woman.
Surely you wouldn't stop me. After all, haven't you wished for this yourself?
The Claire's too, doesn't...
Nothing can excuse the kidnapping of all those scientists. Not even this, Dimitri.
Layton remix.
You disappoint me. I had hoped a rational man like yourself would understand that the ends justify the means.
I don't know, buddy. I feel like Layton's kind of going to be one of those people who's like, I'm obviously super sad that she died, but that happened in the past, and that's that, you know? The Layton bot is malfunctioning. I
don't see it that way.
Then what's your next move? Turn me into the police? I'd like to see you try.
sorry. The music in this game is just so good. It's just so good. You're mistaken in thinking I came here to report you to the authorities. I'm here to stop the man who's been dragging my good name through the dirt. Ha! That's a noble sentiment, Herschel. But you seem to have forgotten one key detail. The towering pagoda is my stronghold, and that means you're on my turf. I have more than enough men here to overpower you. Look here. What? This ancient 18th century relief illustrates our situation perfectly. Why do you have that? You the clarinet solo. Very good. Very good. Very good. It displays 2 warring factions of 5 troops. The stars indicate the strength of each soldier. The red troops represent you in your current situation. The white troops are mine. It should be fairly clear who the victor will be. The white side has more powerful troops. There's no way Red could win. Exactly. Your apprentice has a good head on his shoulders, Herschel. Oh, someone else calling him my apprentice. Okay. I think it's a... Oh, rude. I think it's a touch premature to praise him in this case, Dimitri. I don't see why our troops need lose, provided the battles are fought one-on-one. It sounds to me as if you simply don't wish to admit defeat. If you think victory is possible, prove it. Each soldier will engage in combat. Sorry, bleh. Let me try that again. Each soldier will engage one soldier from the other side in combat. Pair each of your red troops against one of the opposing white troops. Your troops are marked with an icon depicting Professor Layton. The strength of each soldier is represented by the number of stars. Arrange your forces so the red side avoids defeat. Okay. Why does it say 4 and 3? Oh, it's telling me the number of stars. Right, okay, I thought it was like, is that a different data that I need to... Okay, something's here. Something's up here. This must be a trick. Arrange your forces so the red side avoids defeat. It's an old puzzle that I've heard a similar one to. I'll excuse myself. Ah, thank you. It's very, very good of you. Okay, this is a trick. There has to be a trick to this. My first thought was, my first thought was something about, you know, having leftover stars for the next person, but that doesn't work because everyone's engaging one-on-one. Okay, let me read through the text again, just in case there's something specific in this. Each soldier will engage one soldier from the other side in combat. Pair each of your red troops against one of the opposing white troops. Your troops are marked with the icon of Layton. The strength of each soldier is represented by the number of stars. Arrange your forces so the red side avoids defeat. I'm kind of in and out, but I'm back maybe for a bit. Hello, second side. Welcome back. We are potentially at the final boss. It's all very... I don't feel like the tension is there when I hint my thinking. Yes. I don't really know how to start. Avoid defeat. Okay, so is that... I'm the final boss. Hello. That's the escape room. If I make an escape room, I'm the final boss. Since they win, it just says avoid defeat. Okay, so... That's why I thought we should try and link up the 4 and the 4 and the 3 and the 3. But then... And the 1 and the 1. But then the 1 and the 2 and the 1 and the 5 don't really work. Is it maybe the majority of fights we would equalize? So we would draw... No, because we would draw on 4 and 4 and 3 and 3 and 1 and 1. And then they would win 2, so that would mean that they would win overall, because they've drawn on 3 but 1 on 2. So... Do I have to try and win? No, it's 1v1 second side. Okay, so we do that, and that. No, that's definitely not gonna work. by sacrificing some men. Sorry, I know you actually genuinely meant that as part of the puzzle, but my brain was like, kill the men. So we would win this one, and we would win this one. But they would win this one, and then there would be a draw. That's it. That must be it, right? So, Liam O'Brien would win the first two. We would win the second two, so that's a draw. And then the last one would still be a draw. Perfect. Okay, we've done it. We've done it. I hope. Let's go. There. Each side wins 2 fights, loses 2 fights, and ties 1. It's the perfect draw. War never changes. Of course! What the red side lacks in troop strength, it can make up for with strategy. I find myself... Thank you very... I'm assuming that was a follow, but it didn't show up, so thank you if that was a follow. Don't worry, I knew what you were doing. I knew you were doing Fallout. I find myself once again impressed by your logic. Ooh.
Very nicely done, Herschel.
Thank you.
Give it up, Dimitri!
He's waiting to do
Give
that.
it up. Oh, no. I'm just getting started.
Uh-oh.
Who is that? Bill Hawks.
As you can
I knew
see,
he wasn't dead.
my hostage here is something of a big shot. So I wouldn't try anything funny if I were you.
You're a monster!
Whoa! Okay, that's cool. Also, I'm glad that Flora got to be part of the dramatic parts. You know, because normally Flora's not with them. And now, with the introduction complete, we can begin the story proper. And there are 20 more streams of this game. Prime Minister Bill Hawkes, who was unaccounted for after the accident at the time machine presentation, was discovered by Professor Layton in the future London. He was abducted by Dimitri and is now being held prisoner. Will the heroes be able to rescue him? It's a good question. Let's find out. Oh no! We're trapped!
I hate to disappoint you, but it seems you've failed to ensnare the genuine article.
What?
Huh? Professor? How did you get there?
Sorry, this game's so many twists. Okay.
Just what is going on here? Why are there 2 of you?
Good question.
Which
He went to
one
find
is the real
himself.
Professor?
Okay. If they're actually in the future, he went to find himself. But more likely, it's someone dressed up. Elementary, actually. Also, I love that. I know it's so that we can see their faces, but the gaps in those bars are so wide. They could easily leave.
What?
Oh no, it is him. God's sake.
If he's in here,
Then where's the real Professor?
Outside the cage.
Huh?
This is getting far too complicated.
I knew Don Paolo had to show up. Everybody marked the non-existent bingo cards for Don Paolo shows up. We all knew it was coming. We all knew we had to be here at some point. Ah, I love a good Don Paolo reveal. You never know when it's coming.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm so happy.
take note, Luke. A true gentleman never plays his ace in the hole until absolutely necessary.
I love that Don Paolo was on his side when he's his arch nemesis.
Hey, Layton, here's an idea for you. Why don't you quit it with the lectures and get me out of here?
Have we heard his voice before? We must have heard his voice before.
Help us, Professor!
You got it, buddy.
Be patient, Luke. I just need to find a way past this lock.
And Layton is completely stumped because he's at because Dimitri has used an actual lock instead of a puzzle. And he has no idea what to do. Don wants to bring Layton down himself. That's true. He's like, I will stop this other person from besmirching your name so that it means more when I beat you. Ace in the hole, anything like Toad in the hole. Yeah, you just no, it's just when you pick me up and plop me in a little pothole. In order to open the cage, you need to decide which buttons to push. The rules are simple. Think of the buttons as squares. Each symbol indicates a direction, and you proceed from the square to the square following those directions. Sorry, you proceed from square to square following those directions. Star is left, moon is right, sun is down, water is up. There is one square you can start from which allows you to pass through every square exactly once. Oh Christ. Okay. This does not sound easy. But Ace in the hole be the vegan alternative. That's quite funny. I like that. I feel like that would be toadstool in a hole, because it's like a mushroom. Overlay the movements in memo mode. You're right, that's a good idea. It's a good place to start. Whoa. Let's try that again. Let's just do them all like this. Oh, actually, we're going to take a break here for a quick sec, because Joe's just come in. Bear with me. I'm going to pause the recording. Okay. Apologies for that interruption. We're now back. We were in the process of drawing the... Oh my god, it's so bad. You know what? This was actually a really clever idea. I wouldn't have necessarily thought of this straight out the gate. It would have taken me a minute to think of this. So thank you very much. I think it was Shogun you said this, right? You said to do the arrows. They're so bad. But you can see what they're trying to say. They're really bad arrows. Did I think it was possible to have such a thing as a bad arrow? But no, I did not. But now we know. The recording is back again. Yes, it is. Good. Okay. We've done this before. We've done a puzzle like this before where we go backwards. Right? So... I'm just gonna start in a random place. Here. So... As long as there's one thing pointing to it, we can start there. Okay, I think we have to start on this star. Because nothing is pointing at this star. So the star, if we would walk the path, we go star, we're just gonna follow it with my mouse. You guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so we have to start at this star. Yeah. There we go. There's one square, and I'm just checking I'm getting I'm answering the right question. There's one square you can start from, which allows you to pass through every square exactly once. Perfect. So basically the question was... It sounds more complicated than it is because it says it lets us pass through each square exactly once, but it's just the only one that has no way of getting to it, basically. Okay.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Why would that be the
law?
lock?
I suspected.
Like, surely Dimitri doesn't think he can out-puzzle Layton. Apart from the last square itself, all the squares form a single path leading to the last square. Once you realize this, it's easy to find the starting square. Exactly. Imagine drinking coffee from this purple Layton mug. It has actually increased my puzzling ability by +3. Exactly. Maybe I should just sell all of my items, or like, this will increase your blank by +3. Like, charisma. The overlay made that so much easier. Yes, you definitely had the right idea there. That was a great suggestion. You get the points. Oh my god, look at his face! What a cutie. It would seem the tables have turned, Dimitri. That's a rather delusional statement for someone with your penchant for logical thought. Look around you. In case you haven't noticed, you're deep within the family's headquarters. Yeah, I want to say a thing about when we had to match up the different fighters and make sure that we didn't lose. Yeah, sure, we solved the puzzle, but that doesn't mean we're not actually outnumbered. Like, what? Dimitri just wants to slow you down. Next item merchandise, +2 to puzzle checks. It would be a fun little gimmick in the store. I wish, I need to make more puzzle-related merch. I need to think of better merch. Like, I like the merch that we have. There's nothing wrong with it. But, I want to add, other things that are more puzzling. Why am I doing this so much? Maybe I'll make like an escape room shirt. Like I went to an escape room and all I got was this lousy shirt, even though that's not what happens. Except one item, it'll be -5 to slide puzzles. That's all the items. Sorry. I need only say the word and my men will come rushing to my aid. You underestimate me, Dimitri. Do you think I'd be so naive as to set foot in your base without a plan of my own? It's my casino gun! Meaning? This building is fascinating in its complexity. I saw plenty of spots where one might conceal a trap or the like. I'm losing his voice. On my way up here, nope, that's Dimitri's voice. Hold on. On my way up here, no, I'm just gonna have to go with it. I set up a few diversions of my own. Call for your henchmen if you like. I imagine most of them will have will have their hands full for a few more minutes at least. Look how much effort I put in the merch that Game Theory do. I don't actually know what Game Theory's merch is like.
Oh, how embarrassing.
I'm guessing that's at me losing the voices. Clever, Herschel. Very clever. Oh. Clonk, clonk, clonk. Go on, boss! We've got a scarper! It seems I must concede defeat for now, but this is far from over. I'm trying to do a Liam O'Brien impression, is it working? I look forward to seeing you when our paths cross next. I can't watch back. It's so awkward to watch the streams back because I can't stand listening to myself do accents, but I'm trying so hard. Also to give you a reference point. I'm assuming something's coming. Game Theory do jackets with puzzles. What? Okay, I'm writing it down to look it up because I want to look it up now, but I know that if we do, we'll be even longer playing this game. That's amazing. Okay. Drat, they're much faster than I thought. There's no chance of us catching up. I don't know how I feel about him. I think he's sus. Oh no. What's wrong? All this commotion allowed Dimitri and his men to grab the Prime Minister and take them with him. Oh no. Take him with them. That way around. It's a chain! Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. Dimitri's activated an alarm. This place will be flooded with family thugs before long. There's a distinct possibility that we may have to fight our way out of the towering pagoda. But didn't you take care of Dimitri's henchmen on the way in, Professor? Not quite, I'm afraid. The few diversions I managed to set up will only last a few more minutes. The path we took on the way in is almost certainly swarming with family now. Our only hope is to find some sort of emergency escape route. Dimitri is a prudent man. He may have had one hidden somewhere in this room. We must search the place thoroughly. No escape route through the roof. Bah, shoddy design. Sorry, I just want to take a second. Look at these fellas. Look at them. Look how many of them there are. There's such a big team. Don Paolo's part of the team. So funny. I love a good arch nemesis becomes one of the good guys trope. I have 99 hint coins right now. That's pretty rad. Oh, I was hoping for a hint coin, but okay. Aha! There's a trapdoor here! And my hunch was right. It looks as if we found our way out of here. Oh! I must have built this too! I can't remember. He's got like a typical kind of voice, but I can't do that for like... They must have built this stairwell! No, I just sound like Luke now. For men less buff and muscular than me. And there's more than one path. Which way do we go, Layton? Look, there's a map here that charts out the network of tunnels below us. Let me see. My, this is a bit of a tangled mess, isn't it? Oh, puzzle time, baby. The puzzles are getting easier in terms of pick-a-rats. Maybe they're not actually easier. In this dark maze of tunnels, you can't turn unless you hit a wall. Starting at the red dot and following this rule, you need to reach the exit without taking the same path twice or running into any dead ends. Which route should you take? Draw a line to plan your escape. Okay. We can only turn if you hit a wall. So it's like one of those ice. I was gonna say slide puzzle, but that's a different thing. It's like one of those puzzles where they just slide forward and they can't stop, like in ice places in Pokemon. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, let's give it a go. Let's try this way first. Okay, so now we have a... In fact, should we go backwards? I think it's maybe a better idea to go backwards. Marble puzzles. Yeah, you know, that could work. Okay, let's go backwards. So... we couldn't come in this way, because there's no way to come in this way, because there's no wall to hit. So we have to go all the way down here. Like that. And that means we have to have come from here. Which means we have to have come from here. Which means we have to have come from here. And then here. And then... oh no, because we could turn. Oh no, I've done this wrong. Hold on. I think I can actually just draw. Yeah, there we go. Let's just do that. Because I could hit this. No, wait. No, because that has to be a wall. When you think, do you see words or pictures? I don't see words. Oh, do you mean like, do you see something? I don't know. It's really hard to describe. Like, I don't actually see anything. I don't think. It's more like the feeling. I spoke to a friend of mine who's like multilingual, and I asked like, what language do you think in? Is it your native language, or is it like the one that you use the most? And they were like, I don't think in words. It's like, oh, okay. So I think it's kind of like that. Like, I don't think in necessarily in pictures, but I can like, I can see stuff, but I can't like actually see it. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not really making any sense. So if I hit, I think I'm still doing it right. But then we get to here. No, it would have to be there. And then... because you can only turn when you hit a wall. So I have to have hit that wall. Like that. Right? Doof. Turn. Doof. 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 And then we can turn that way. And then... I think I've got this, right? I got it! Sweet! If someone asks you for directions... oh no. That is a bad example. I cannot give directions. Because in my head, right, if I'm trying to figure out somewhere that I'm going, like somewhere that I've been before, or I know roughly where it is, I cannot connect places in my head. So I can be like, okay, if I leave my flat, I go down this street, and then at a certain point it becomes fuzzy. Like, I can't figure out where that goes next, even though I've done it 100 times. But then if you were like, this next part of them, if you were like, oh, it's around this spot, I could like picture some of the roads around it, but I couldn't make it all the way back to my house, even if I've done it. Like, I genuinely can't connect bits in my head, even if I've walked there, if I've done that whole route. Like, I don't know what's wrong. And it's even worse if I've never been there in that exact path. Sometimes I'll go into town for something, and I'll have to stand, because there's like branching paths, right? On my way into town, there is basically, I could take 2 different routes. They both go to town, but they go to different parts of town. And I have to stand there and go, which one is closer to the shop? Like, which one is the shop that I need? Which one will be closer? And I have to like sit there for ages being like, what's the best route? Because I can't do it. You can visualize an entire map through in your head. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to submit this because I'm pretty sure I got it right.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
There we go. I think we've got to the point where it's like, this is a mandatory puzzle, so we're not going to make it too difficult because you're not actually at the end of the game yet. Great escape. You found the way out. Thank you. The passages below are too narrow for all of us to move through at the same time. If we want to get out of here quickly, we'll need to split into 2 groups. I don't like it, but it seems we've no choice. Now, who should I take with me? Don't! No! You kidnapped her!
You always get to be the gentleman. This time I want to escort the young lady.
Yeah, but you kidnapped her. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Layton. I feel like Flora would not agree if she had a say in the matter, which apparently she doesn't. I try to explain how I solve maths problems in my head and people don't understand how I can just visualize the numbers. I think, yeah, okay. So you guys know that I'm really bad at maths, or at least I'm bad at doing maths quickly or in my head. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily bad at maths, I just can't do it in my head. Anyway. genuinely, playing Killer Sudoku has actually made me better, because in Killer Sudoku, you have to add up the numbers in a box to match the number in like that's written on the box, as well as a normal Sudoku rules. And so I have, instead of like, you know, doing the actual addition between two numbers, I have learned what pairs of numbers make what number. So it's like, you know, if you were like, you have to make 15 with two numbers, I could tell you which numbers you could do that with. Single digits. Just as a recall rather than actually doing the maths. Imagine if Flora chimed in that she wants to go with Dawn. Peach wasn't kidnapped. She went to see Bowser on her own free will. Okay, but Flora was actually kidnapped. But she wasn't, nothing happened to her. She just got like, I think she just got locked in a room. Like nothing, she wasn't tortured, she wasn't starved, but it was just like, I'm going to pretend to be you. So I'm locked. I don't know where she got put, to be honest. Maybe she was put on the train? Maybe she was put on the train. I don't remember. And interesting how what people see or think in their heads. Everyone's so different. It's true, and everyone, you kind of for a while think that everyone just thinks like you, like pictures what you picture, or can do X, Y, and Z, and sometimes you don't realize that they can't for like years, you know, unless you specifically talk about it. Sorry, but I prefer you to come with me, Don Paolo. Very well then, Flora and I will go together. Luke, you go with the professor and help him keep an eye on Don Paolo. Yes. I was gonna say, surely it would make sense for Big Luke to go with Layton, because then they have more chance if Don Paolo tries something, but then I was like, yes, but then we are literally just putting the children together. That's a bad idea. Don't just put two children. It's like Al Murray, pub landlord, English, French, German skit. Oh, I've not seen that. I think especially as a child, you just assume everyone thinks and imagines everything the same. Yeah. It's like, I know someone who, like, legitimately can picture, like, an actual, like, they can picture, like, a proper image of something in their head. But I can't do that. It's like, if I close my eyes, I physically can't see anything in my eyes, in my eyeballs. But I could, like, kind of bring up an image of Layton, but not really. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, trade with me, little Luke. I want to be in the professor's group. We'll see each other soon enough, Flora. Go with Big Luke and we'll meet back at the hotel. Alright, the groups are set. Let's get moving. Why are we splitting up? Why did they say that? Ouch! What did I just run into? Let me guess. A wall. Let's see. This might actually be a door. It is! There's a handle here! It's actually a bomb. Oh. Great. Now where are we? I don't know what voice to give it. We're at the bottom of an emergency stairwell. There should be a way out of the building here somewhere. Is it the stairs, perhaps? Various links in Discord. Okay, I will have to look at them later. Maybe she must use these stairs to come and go as he pleases. Wait, are you telling me that's not the way out? This door should take us outside. Oh, we came down the stairs. I see. Oh, that's why he said we're at the bottom of the emergency stairwell, because we come down the stairs. I understand, I misunderstood that. Well, look at that, we made it out. The family is bound to have some thugs in the vicinity. We need to put some distance between us and the pagoda. Okay.
I still don't understand why Don Paolo's here. Can someone please explain that to me?
Everyone in chat right now.
Always with the questions. Won't you put a lid on it for a few minutes, you brat?
Excuse me, you do not call Luke a brat. Layton.
I most certainly will not.
Or Luke. I guess he can defend himself.
Honestly, you two, would you please stop bickering? You're on the same side.
And while I'm getting things off my chest, why the heck did I have to play the decoy who gets caught?
Come now, Paul. It wasn't that bad. Your role was certainly the more exciting one.
Paul? Is his name Paul? I don't like this.
Professor, you still haven't explained what's going on.
I knew we'd be monitored from the moment we stepped foot inside the pagoda.
Hence why I ran away. Okay, so Shogun, funny you should mention that. Somebody has actually done that. But they've done it with American Luke, and they haven't done it with Layton. But it's not available to use, because I was thinking, oh, I could use it for stream, but it's not available to use, like, commercially, which technically would be if I was making money off the stream. But I thought about that. I did think about that. I thought that would be fun. Have as my text-to-speech.
So I wanted to make sure we had at least one trick up our collective sleeve. Don Paolo, master of deception and disguise, seemed like the perfect man to employ for the task.
And he just happened to have a Professor Layton costume, because of course he did.
You two are friends? That's the first I've heard of this.
Fair.
Ha! Don't get it confused, kid. I'm no friend of his.
Why does he just sound like Mark Hamill's Joker?
We both want answers to the same questions. So we decided to work together. That's all.
When did this start?
Tell me, Luke, when we visited Dr. Schrader, did anything he said strike you as strange?
Oh, this is a good point to bring up. That I made a huge fuss, and I think I've already talked about this since, but I made a huge fuss in the scene where we went to meet Dr. Schrader that he shouldn't be alive, but that wasn't supposed to be the dramatic thing. The dramatic thing was just that he was old and dying. Because Dr. Schrader did actually survive. It's fine. He survives the first game. Second game, you're meant to think he's dead for the whole game, and then he isn't. Spoilers. But if you're watching this, you've already seen the last one, hopefully.
No. Not really.
It was his greeting that made me suspicious.
Huh?
Flashback.
Who's that? Oh, it's you, Herschel. And little Luke.
Little Luke. Had they already decided on the names by that point?
Yeah, I remember. But what of it?
He didn't seem terribly surprised to see little Luke, did he?
Oh no, it's not the fact that that was the name they picked. It's the fact that he should have been older. Ah.
Of course. In the future, I'm not a kid anymore. But the doctor didn't even notice.
I mean, unless he's just a bit old and senile and didn't think it through.
Precisely.
Though I guess that is kind of a big difference. Like, it's not like, oh, you've changed your hair color. It's like, you know, you've grown 10 years.
That means Dr. Schrader was...
Don Paolo in disguise, yes.
Really? Okay.
So you knew he was a fake before he even said 4 sentences. Wow. You're good, Professor.
Yes, he is.
That planted the seed of doubt, though I didn't confirm my suspicion until much later.
Okay, thinking about the voice. Sorry, I know I keep interrupting, but that's why you're watching a stream rather than just playing it yourself. Speaking of the voice acting, I think I've got the voice acting lines saved, but I don't know whether the HD version will probably have better quality voice lines, but I'm assuming they used the same ones, they just didn't compress them. Because I have to play the HD remaster for mobile and see how the audio quality is, because if it's a nicer quality, then we could like pull clips from that for alerts that aren't so crunchy.
Did Don Paolo pose as anyone else?
Everyone else.
Yes, he did a bit of spying on us as Dean Del Mona when we met him last. From the moment I laid eyes on him, it was obvious we were dealing with an imposter.
Dean Del Mona?
Amazing.
What's that?
How did you know?
Hi, inside.
His white hair gave it away.
Oh yes, I said his hair was a different color, didn't I?
But white hair seems perfectly natural on a man his age.
Not if he wears a wig. He let me in on his secret some time ago. He's been bald for ages.
The dean of the university. That's who yeah, I'd forgotten who Del Mona was. To be fair, I haven't played it in ages. I did think his
Don
hair was
Paolo
yeah.
mistakenly selected a white wig to show how much Dean Del Mona had aged.
Wow. Nice work there, Professor.
So was Don Paolo working for whoever's... I don't think they're actually in the future, because that's how these games go, is they'll at the end they'll be like, this isn't what you thought it was because it was all a trick. So I'm assuming we're not actually in the future, because that's how this game goes. In that case, was Don Paolo working for whoever set this whole thing up?
Shortly after that, I confronted Don Paolo and had him tell me everything. It seems Dimitri had been paying him quite handsomely to make sure we headed toward the pagoda. I filled Don Paolo in on all the strange happenings we've witnessed here, and then I requested his assistance in solving this mystery.
Well, that all makes sense, I suppose.
I suppose.
But the part I still don't get is why Don Paolo decided he wanted to help us. After all, this is the man who tried to run us over with a Ferris wheel.
I forgot about that! Thank you for the continuity. Loving it.
That's none of your business, brat.
I would like Layton to defend his not apprentice, please. Wait, hold on. I'm doing the thing again with my hair. There we go.
Hey! Call me a brat again and just see what happens.
Let me at him!
It was Claire, Luke. It all had to do with Claire.
The woman Dimitri was talking about.
Oh, Luke won't know who Claire is. I don't think Layton would have told him.
Claire was my girlfriend back when I was just starting my academic career.
He's boo.
She was a researcher who worked in the same laboratory as Dimitri.
Oh no! So she...
Yes. The last time I saw her, she was on her way to the lab the day of that massive explosion.
So did he actually see her walking around? Or was that also Don Paolo? Because if that's Don Paolo, that's kind of sick.
The oddest thing is that the accident received very little media coverage. It's clear someone with a lot of influence was suppressing information about the incident. I did everything I could to research the matter on my own. My efforts were largely fruitless.
I had no idea.
It's likely that Dimitri feels he is to blame for Claire's death. His obsession with going back in time seems like a twisted version of atonement.
What a terribly sad story. But what does it have to do with Don Paolo?
His eyebrows went up too quickly.
Well, Luke, as it turns out, Dimitri and I weren't the only ones with strong feelings for Claire.
This woman's getting all the people. She's got 3 men.
What? You mean?
What? Don't act so surprised. I have feelings too, you know.
Maybe that's why he didn't like... Maybe that's why he's Layton's arch rival. It's all been because of Claire. Oh.
Thanks for meeting me on such short notice, Herschel.
Oh, no. It's
so
my
cute with his
pleasure.
little hat.
Here, this is for you.
What is it?
A letter, of course. Read it at home.
Why don't you just tell me
my
what it says? I'm right here, after all.
My, you're making this quite difficult. What I want to say is, well, in short, this.
You blushing.
Layton! You! You will pay for this someday!
Oh!
What was that?
Goose.
Layton has been my arch nemesis ever since that fateful day.
It's all about Claire. It's all about Claire. Have a good lunch. I'm probably not going to be here when you come back because I have to finish the stream pretty sharpish to go and have dinner and then play D&D. So I will see you next week and have a good weekend if you're not back before I leave. Have a good lunch, Rox. This is great because I haven't played this one to the end. I genuinely didn't know any of this. Whereas the last two games, I was like, I vaguely remember how the ending goes.
I see.
Yes, though it's worth mentioning that I had no inkling of Paul's crush until he told me himself.
Layton's like, I'm not a dick, jeez.
He was in the year above me at university. Imagine my surprise when I learned that Don Paolo was none other than my old classmate, Paul.
I
This
had
is
no
amazing.
idea you'd been through so much. Sorry for being so mean to you, Paul.
Ugh. Spare me your sappy sympathy. And my name is Don Paolo. Address me as such, boy.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't like that I found out why he doesn't like Layton. I thought it's funnier if he's just like, you're my arch nemesis, that's that, and there's no like reason for it. But oh well.
Anyway, you put on quite the performance, Don Paolo. With you distracting Dmitri, I had just enough time to do some sleuthing in the area.
So that's what you were doing while we were climbing the pagoda. Did you find anything?
Yes, but I need to confirm a few facts before I can connect all the dots.
I'm just, Oh my god, I'm sorry. I was just checking because I was, checking on, the details for tonight because we've got D&D and, well, people are messaging. And Lara's brain, which if you don't know is the Twitter account dedicated to my brain because it's so distracted it has its own one, has just tweeted, fellas, is it wrong to kidnap several scientists to have them build a time machine for you so you can travel back in time and stop your time machine accident? Okay, hold on, I'm gonna quote retweet it. Asking for a friend. That's hilarious. Thank you. Thank you, Lara's brain. Hello, Ego! Welcome in! Did they decide what everyone wants to eat? Yes, they all wanted the same pizza as me. So we got the same pizzas that I asked for. Hold on. Just replying. There we go. Sorry, apologies for that. I'm back. Been away for 2 weeks in Aviemore, then North England, but just got in. Wanted to drop by and say hi, hello. Thank you so much for dropping by. I hope you had did you have a good time? Were you working? Or was it a fun time? Or both? For context, Ego, we're fairly near the end of this game, I think. We've had a few reveals already. We've only got a couple of mysteries left, so I can't imagine we've got too much left. Probably at least another stream. Yeah, so it was for fun. Oh, wonderful. So just as a warning, in case you don't want to be spoiled for the end, I've just had another silly idea, Zoom Beanies playthrough. I don't know if I've actually... I don't think I've ever played Zoom Beanies. I recognize the name of it, but I think I saw a video where someone mentioned it rather than actually knowing what it's about. Are you actually time traveling? We haven't figured that bit out yet, but my theory is no. But we haven't got to that part.
Then it sounds like that should be our next move. Where to, Professor?
Oh, ho, ho. I'll let you ponder that for yourself. But first, we should head back to the hotel. Flora and the other Luke are waiting for us there.
Oh, do I stop now? This is a good stopping point. Should I stop now and then... Nah, I've still got like 20 minutes left of stream. I think it's fine. We'll just, we'll keep going. Chapter 10. Across the Thames. Oh god. Oh, I guess we should probably go and do some puzzles, actually. That's probably what we should be doing. Oh man, that's so many. Is this another banana skin puzzle? Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? I do. Yeah, another banana skin sitting in the middle of the road. I'll go pick it up. Hold on, Luke. Why, what's wrong? Oh, wait, let me guess. You've got another banana puzzle for me? Oh, right you are, my boy. Puzzles. Slippery Trip 3. Try saying that 5 times fast. Benuzzles. Make your way from start to the goal, beware of banana skins. Whenever you step on one, you'll slide without stopping until you hit a wall. Can you find a solid route through the slippery streets? We've done these before. The best thing to do is to work backwards. Because it's easier if we avoid hitting any banana skins at all. However, I don't think we can. So we gotta work it out. Okay, so I think we might need to go. I'm just gonna go with my theory. Oh no, that just sends us off the board. Okay, so yeah, working back. So if we could walk all the way there, that's how we do it. We could just go boop ba-doo 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 ba-doo, but then we can't get to here. So my thinking is we go the way I just went, but we try and go on this banana skin somehow. Not sure how we'd actually do that. No, that would send us off. We gotta try and get to this banana skin specifically, because that would send us, or this one, because that would send us up here, and then we can just walk around once we've got to that. But how do we get to that banana skin without just sliding? Let's try another way. I think. Actually, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. I was like, oh, we're gonna solve this, no problem, but... Maybe that's not the route we're supposed to take? But that's the only thing I can think of working. But that's just, yeah. So if we do that one or go down the way, we just get shot off the edge of the board, basically. So there's no point doing those. And then the same thing with these ones here, we just go shot off the end of the board. Okay, hold on. Let me do something. I don't really use memo on this one, but we're just going to cross out the ones that we can't even touch. Because if we touch them, we'll go flying. Obviously, we could come back the way, but both of those are just going to lead us back to the starting point, so there's no point. Okay. So I guess our only option is to go to this first banana. So we have to go from here now. This will just send us back where we were. That will basically leave us stuck again. That doesn't really do anything. So we have to go down. Let me just end up where we started. This isn't working. Oh, you've got it. Good. So glad somebody has. That's where I need to be. Yeah, it just sends me away, and then same thing going down. So I have to go left. Like, logically, I'm going the way that I have to go. But then I just get stuck. So I'm missing something, right? Oh, wait. There we go. That's what I was trying to do this whole time. Oh, I'm so dumb. I got it. I forgot I could go back on myself for some reason. We did it!
Here's my answer.
I need a little
I
animation
knew it.
for answering a puzzle. That would be such a cute thing to have on stream. Have like me going like, "Wow, I got the answer." Yeah, I've got you backtrack. That's what I was forgetting too. Fruitastic, there's something you might not know about bananas. They are one of the fruits that keep ripening even after they've been picked. That means that they're green when they're picked. You wouldn't want to eat a green one though. It probably wouldn't be very nice. I have eaten a green banana before. Not like a super green one, but like one that was clearly not quite ripe, and it was not pleasant. These banana skins are all over the place. Do people in the future just love littering or what? I'm starting to wonder. Okay, I think what we have to do is we have to go and find the, look, 100 hit coins! We've got to go and find the, puzzle shack. Oh. I don't want to waste too much time in getting back to the hotel, so let's take the train. Sounds good to me. Fine, this is where we part ways. I've got other things to do. You sure you're not running off to formulate some sort of evil plan? Now, why would you ever accuse me of that? Truly, I'm wounded. I'm just going to work on a pet project of mine that I've been meaning to finish. Very well, Paul. Meet up with us later when you're ready. You can find us... Yeah, Layton, I'm no fool. I know where to find you. And now he's gone. Are you sure it's wise to leave him to his own devices? I understand your concern, Luke, but I think we can trust him now. I suppose so, Professor. You must have cared an awful lot for Claire if losing her to you turned him into Don Paolo. He certainly was quite besotted. But enough about that now. We have work to do. Let's get moving. Alright, but I'm still none the wiser as to our next step, especially now that we know Future Layton is a fake. Well, in light of these new developments, our first priority is to rescue the Prime Minister. Dimitri fled the towering pagoda with Mr. Hawks, so we might have another hideout in the area. And we're going to find it. Oh, but first we need to go to the hotel. That's right, we need to meet Flora and Big Luke at the hotel. Hopefully they got back safely. No, we need to go to the puzzle shack. We're ignoring everything on the way because we're going specifically to the puzzle shack. Okay.
Can you hear all those poor puzzles crying, "Solve me! Solve me!" You'd be a monster not to help them.
No, I can't. Just touch the house to say hello to some of those lost puzzles. I don't know puzzles could speak. It's like they're everything. They're like a currency, a locking device. Puzzles are everything. Alright, let's try a couple of puzzles and then we'll wrap up the stream. Just because I have been neglecting some of the puzzles of this game. My only resistance to doing this is that I haven't messed up any puzzles yet today. So far my record is wonderful, which is so much better than last time. I struggled so hard last time, I just couldn't think. Let's pick one at random. Shape of the key. This is a Laytongram. To reveal the key, you must fit the 5 pieces that make up the top hat into the shape of a key without overlapping the pieces. Oh yeah, this is fine. This is fine. This is another one that you can't technically lose because there's no incorrect answer. You just keep going until you find the answer. So that's fine by me. I just have to remember how to move them without... No, I'm just trying to pick it up. There we go. Oh, that's one in there. That's supposed to be like that. There we go. Oh. Yay, there we go. Easy mode.
This
Easy
puzzle
peasy.
has met its match.
Stop frowning, mate.
Success!
Freaking me out. I hate it. Okay. Let's try another one. Tell you what though, I miss Granny Riddleton. The chessboard. Here are 3 sheets of transparent plastic with different patterns painted on them. Raichu! Hello! How are you doing? Oh, so cute. Hello. Welcome in. How's it going? We're Layton in today. We're doing some puzzles that I missed, and we will be excuse me, I've got itchy eye today. We will be wrapping up the stream fairly soon because I've got Dungeons and Dragons tonight, and I gotta make sure that my character doesn't die. Joe actually left the room earlier saying make sure to prep your backup character, so I haven't. I know it was just to psych me out, but still. You just woke up. Aw, CP. Here are 3 sheets of transparent plastic with different patterns painted on them. If you layer them correctly, a chessboard pattern appears. The order in which you layer them is important, and you can't flip or rotate the sheets. Which sheet, A, B, or C, goes on the very bottom? Okay. It's not B. Wait, no, sorry. B doesn't go on the top. I think C goes on the top, because it's the only one where pieces don't have to be covered up. So C is the top layer. And then I would believe that it would be A and then B. I just wrote A on that instead of a number. Get rid of that. Like that, I think. Because, I mean, this is actually a visualization I can kind of do. So... Oh no, wait, hold on. Yeah. Because if that goes on the bottom... I think I'm pretty confident with this. I don't think there's a trick. Okay, I think the best way of doing this actually is to go square by square. So, yellow, this is blue, because that's there. Yellow, blue. That needs to be blue. Yep. Yellow. Blue, yellow. Yellow. Or white, I guess. It's not really yellow. And that is yellow because of that one. Then blue, yep. Then yellow again. Then blue again. Then blue. Then yellow from that one. Then blue from that one. Yes, so this is the bottom piece. Which sheet goes on the very bottom?
How about this?
Some easy picker-outs for
No
us.
puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Alright. Let's stick with the earlier puzzles. Because in theory, they're easier. Oh, sorry. Got on the wrong screen. Rubbing his back, the waiter sighed wearily and said, I always use the same box to carry as many glasses as I can at a time. But really there's only one type of glass that I really hate carrying. Of the 4 glass types pictured here, which is the one is the waiter talking about? Keep in mind that they all weigh the same. Okay. My first thought is this one because of the shape. Is it something about that they can't, like, stack neatly? Oh, thank you. Okay, hold on. Let's tab out of that for a second. Let's get the positive affirmation on the go. Bum 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Just loading up the... Oh, you can't hear the music. You can just hear me singing it. Oh, whoops. That's awkward. Forgot you can't hear the audio when I'm on that screen. Oh, you wanna play, buddy? There we go. Ba 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 ba. Okay. Positive affirmation. Now that we've gone past that super awkward part. Let's see. I've got a list here. This is the one I always read from, but I'm trying to pick a good one. Okay. I stand up for what I believe in. That's your positive affirmation. I don't feel know it's necessarily a positive affirmation. That just feels like a, I don't know, a mantra. But yeah, there you go. There's your positive affirmation. Thank you very much for redeeming your points. Let's return to the game. It must be the shape of them, right? Like, that obviously stacks neatly next to itself. This one, I'm guessing, probably is like upside down. That's fine. Is it this one? Because it can't, like, stack nicely? I really don't know. I don't really want to break my streak on this weird question. Activate tar- You're using up all your points. Okay. Right at the end of stream. Hello. Thank you for activating dark mode. 26k. That's a lot of points. You gotta use them up with something. You could buy me some hint coins. I have a deficit. I don't know. And I don't want to break my streak. I have absolutely no idea what I'm supposed to work off of here. It's clearly one of those ones where it's like something that you wouldn't necessarily think about, you know? What are hint coins? So, oh, good question. What are hint coins? Let me fill you in. I'll turn the lights back off in a second. Hint coins, my dear friend. Hint coins are the currency of this channel, kind of. You can use your channel points to buy hint coins, and then that means that I get to look up answers for games. Answers and for puzzles in games. They're named after the ones in Professor Layton, but they are not just for Professor Layton. And I have looked up things twice without having a hint coin to pay. There we go. There's another one. Thank you. Now I'm only one in the red. I try and keep on top of when I look things up for puzzles, because it's kind of like a fun thing that you guys are like, here, you can buy yourself an answer, basically. Or we're buying you the opportunity to look up an answer. But that's what they're for. Thank you for spending your channel points on that, your pickerats on that. Both pickerats and hint coins are from Professor Layton, but it's not the way they work in the game. Okay. Is this gonna be like... I don't know. That feels like... That doesn't make sense, though. You wouldn't pack them like that, would you? Or would you lie them down like that? I think it's C, but I don't have any basis for it, so I'm going to leave this puzzle. Because I don't have any way of knowing how I'm supposed to get that. Let's try another one. 10 close brothers and sisters. You would lay the glass part next to the stem. Yeah. But then what about the other one that you could just lay next to each other as well? I don't know. I'm not trusting that one. 10 close brothers and sisters live together. Now, Luke, let's imagine that you're the 8th. Okay, so this is big Luke talking to little Luke. Let's imagine you're the 8th child. The oldest daughter... Oh, no. Okay. The oldest daughter is the second son's younger sister and the third son's older sister. The fourth son is the second daughter's older brother and the oldest daughter's younger brother. There are no boys in between the third and fourth daughters. Is the third child from the bottom a boy or a girl? I can't tell just from this. Let's tell Luke the answer in secret. Ew. I think it was C. Do you guys remember when there was a running joke that every answer was always C? Or 10? That was the thing. It's every... Like, for, like, a few straight puzzles, it was always C or 10. Anyway. The answer can't be C on this one. Okay. The oldest daughter is the second son's younger sister. Assuming when it says second son, it means the second oldest son. So the oldest daughter is the second son, younger sister. So there's 2 boys. Oh my goodness! Hello. Hi
hello.
there.
Purple 19, hi Purple 19 love.
it's so good to see you. How are you doing, my dear? My dearie dear. I've not been on Twitch in so long. Well, it's so lovely to have you here, especially in our stream. Please excuse the lighting. Somebody redeemed dark mode, so we have not got the lights on. Other than those ones, and my ears, obviously. Oh, that's too much. I can't drink that right now. I need to drink water. My new little glass that I got for my birthday. Yes, welcome. We're doing Professor Layton. I realize there's no music. I will jump back to the game now because it's weird without having music. Here it is. Here's the music. So, you've come in on a really hard one. Basically, at the moment, we're just going through the, a few puzzles that I've missed, and then we're going to wrap up, and I'm going to go and play No, I'm not going to go play Layton. I'm going to go play D&D, because I've got people coming over pretty soon, so we're just going to do this puzzle. Probably just this one, because this is going to take a while. So, the oldest daughter is the second son's youngest sister, which means there are 2 boys before the first girl, right? There are 10 siblings. Okay, so the 4th son is the second daughter's older brother. Oh, sorry, I missed something. The oldest daughter is the second son's younger sister and the 3rd son's older sister, so there's another boy here. That's a terrible 3. Why does that look like that? Okay, I'm back. Hiya! Welcome back! Right, I think I can turn the lights back on now. I haven't really got a set amount of time that dark mode takes over for— oh my god, it's so bright. Okay. The 3rd son's older sister. Yes. The 4th son is the second daughter's older brother. Yeah. Okay, so there's another boy. And then there's another girl. I think. Let's try that again. 4th son, this guy, is the second daughter's older brother. And the— sorry, my internet is in a huff. Works all day for work, and then when I want to relax, I know the feeling. I'm sorry it's being in a huff. I hope you can hear me. I'm just gonna fix my lipstick. It's very important for puzzles that you fix your lipstick, by the way. I think I'm a lot warmer than I thought I was. Because I left my room earlier and when I came back I was like, wow, it's warm in here. I think it just be my laptop running. I didn't think it was a warm day. No, it's kind of average. It's not particularly sunny. Anyway, sorry. Where did we get to? The oldest daughter's younger brother. Yep. There are no boys in between the 3rd and 4th daughters. Is the 3rd child from the bottom a boy or a girl? Okay, so we're missing something because the 3rd daughter and the 4th daughter don't have any boys between them, but there are other boys. Because this is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's still 2 more boys. The son is the second daughter's older brother and the oldest daughter's younger brother. The oldest daughter is the second son's younger sister and the 3rd son's older sister. There are no boys in between the 3rd and the 4th daughters. Let's imagine you're the 8th child. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I think I know what to do now. So this is Luke. This one here is Luke. So 5 and 6. That is Luke. I forgot that was part of it. Wow. It says Luke. And then that means that the daughters, because if he's the 8th child and there's no boys between the 3rd and the 4th daughters, the 3rd and the 4th daughters have to be at the bottom, right? Oh, and there's the 3rd child from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. That's Luke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3rd from the bottom is Luke, which means it's a boy. So it was a trick question. I didn't have to do any of that working out. Okay. Maybe last puzzle of the day. If I get it wrong, it'll be the last puzzle of the day because I'll quit and I'll rage quit.
This one's as good as solved.
I still could have figured
No
it out
puzzle
actually
can stop
from
Layton's
using those
apprentice.
answers, but because they then were like, it's a boy. I told you at the beginning, Luke, let's imagine you're the 8th child. My question was about asking the 3rd child from the bottom, or in other words, the 8th oldest child. There we go. Thanks. Okay. That's really annoying when they actually give you enough to work it out, but then they go, here's a trick, rather than just going, you don't have enough. Because I could work it out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's do one more. Because I feel like I'm on a roll. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear Joe singing. He's having a little whale of a time in the other room. I think he's tidying up for people coming over. And he's having a sing to himself. Inserting one of the blocks. A, B, C, or... Oh, did I skip this one on purpose? I feel like I did. A, B, C, or D into the space mark. Reveals a hidden message. Touch the letter of the correct block. What? Oh, it says Layton. L-A-T... No, L-A-Y-T-O-N. Oh, sorry, you can't even see that. L-A-Y-T-O-N, so I need to pick... Oh, that's easy. Because none of the others are that's a letter, that's a U, but the other ones aren't really letters, so...
I've got a good feeling about this one.
The good thing is, because most of the puzzles that I've skipped are
Few things
not
satisfy
mandatory
like a
ones, they're
puzzle
not
solved.
that... Some of them aren't that hard. Yep. Easy. Could you hear that while I was talking? I don't know if it's gonna pick the mic gonna pick it up. Should we try another one? Let's try one more. Getting through these like so quick, lightning quick. It also means there's less to do at the end of the game. One day, King Arthur invited a number of honoured guests to dine at the round table. At his request, everyone sat evenly spaced intervals around the table. After sitting down, 2 ladies in attendance, Guinevere and Nimue, were amused to find that neither of them had a woman sitting directly adjacent or opposite. What is the minimum number of people that were sitting at the round table? The minimum amount. Oh god, this one's gonna be hard. Okay. Let's try. Let's try. Okay, so we know there are at least 3 people. Right? That's not a circle. That's also not a circle. Draw a circle. Thank you. Okay. So, let's say we've got King Arthur is here. And then we've got woman number 1. She can't have a woman adjacent, actually. It's probably more maths than that, right? So she can't have a woman next to her. Let's start at the minimum. It can't be 3. Because if it was 3, that they would be sitting next to each other, right? So let's go for 4. That's King Arthur. That's one of the women. That's one of the other women. It can't be 4 because they would have to be across from each other or next to each other. Okay, let's try 5. So, King Arthur, woman, there we go. I had to figure that out in my head. Woman, man, man. So no one opposite, not next to each other. So 5. The answer has to be 5, right? Because it can't be 4. Because then they'd have to be next to each other. Does that make sense? Is that a hmm? Okay, it's a good hmm. I was worried that was going to be a bad hmm. I'm going to go for 5. Because it's the minimum amount of people. I'll read it through again, because sometimes the wording will trip me up. One day, King Arthur invited a number of honoured guests to dine at the round table. At his request, everyone sat at evenly spaced intervals around the table. Okay. After sitting down, 2 ladies in attendance were amused to find that neither of them had a woman sitting directly adjacent or opposite. What is the minimum number of people that were sitting at the round table? Yeah. 5. Because it can't be 3 or 4. Please don't be wrong. It's the first one I haven't...
How about this?
Yeah.
No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Right, I'm gonna end on that high. We're gonna stop there. 5 people is the correct answer. The image above shows how they would be seated at the round table. The tricky part is realizing that the guests weren't sitting directly opposite each other. If you're interested in the characters mentioned in the puzzle, be sure to read up on the legend of King Arthur. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Okay. I think, yeah, I got a new puzzle, but we won't do that now. All right, I think this is a good place to end the stream. On a high. Before we go anywhere, I will do the prediction. How many puzzles did I get wrong today? None. There you go. There are your Pickerats. Enjoy your tasty, tasty Pickerats. Thank you for believing in me. We did not finish the game. I wasn't sure, but I thought we might. Good job, Sick Inside. You get all your points back. I did think we might, but I'm glad we didn't, because it means we've got more to play later. Nom 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 nom. Tasty Pickerats. If you're watching this later, Layton, if you're watching this Layton, ha 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 ha. If you're watching this on YouTube more specifically, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've been enjoying so far. If the next part is available, it'll be in the playlist, which is linked. I didn't say it, but I will have linked it in the cards up here earlier in the video. And please like and subscribe, share, do all the good things. Leave a comment. That's also really nice. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed watching me play Layton. And I'm going to awkwardly end the stream because end the recording because I don't know how to do it in a natural sounding way. Bye!